seen in a Mortal Kombat game. Ladies and gentlemen,
I don't want to be too cynical. That's the opposite of the kind of rhetoric that I care about. Like, that's geared completely towards
please welcome to the
like
stage, creative director of
the
NetherRealm
public
Studios
or the
and
casual
co-creator of
perspective of
Mortal
MK.
Kombat,
It's supposed to be
Ed
bloody and
Boon.
gory. Blah blah. Of course, I assumed all that already. I mean, they've already dismembered people into little cubes, you know, in full 1080p HD graphics. How much more gory can you actually get than that? I don't expect them to crank up the gore. I assume it's present, and that's good enough for me.
You and your team at NetherRealm Studios have done it again. There is so much to unpack here, and I'm sure you can't
Ed Boon's a
wait
legend, though.
to dive into some
Of all the
of
fighting game, of all any game developers that people idolized in the 80s and 90s to legendary status, Ed Boon is the only one that's one of the only ones that seems like A, he deserves it, B, he's a nice guy IRL, and C, he's still putting out good work, and D, he cares about his franchise and his fan base.
Yeah, you guys.
So Ed Boon's the man.
I think the first thing you wanted to do is see the actual games. So just let's just roll them here.
So he knows what's up.
So we're very excited to show you first look at Mortal Kombat 11. Nobody else has seen this. Today we have 7 characters.
They're showing the UI.
Some returning, some new. There's
Okay,
far
new.
more in this game that we'll be able to show you right here, but we do want to hit on the enhancements.
So the other guy is
of
new.
the
That's
game,
not
the fighting,
Darius.
and the
Darius is a real Mortal
custom
Kombat character. I did not make him up. Oh, pre-order, pre-order.
Garrus is a new
That's the
fighter
most
in
important
game,
thing, guys.
and who has a really
Garrus,
cool
okay,
time
but
control abilities.
time
And
Zasalamel?
NetherRealm games
Confirmed?
Really try to add something new. Mortal Kombat X, we introduced a
He does
feature
look cool.
called character variations. 3 versions of every single character. MK11's expanding on that idea, creating custom character variations.
Oh.
That actually create die themselves.
That opens up a lot of questions.
So you
That's a
notice
big
they're
deal.
Selecting different versions of Scorpion. Some were created by the players, some were created already in the game. Same thing with Baraka.
So the question is already, how does the custom variations work? How much can you change it? Will it be allowed in tournament? Is it is it balanced to be allowed in tournament? And I'm already thinking way out ahead. If it's just XYZ skills are the best and use that, that can already defeat the purpose of it. I don't want to be overly negative, but it depends how exactly the system works. Is it just pick whatever you want, or is there a point system? If you want this strong uppercut, you got to give up this strong fireball.
So this is a Mortal Kombat game. To expect the fighting to be brutal. MK11 sees the return.
The animations
of
are
Baraka,
nice.
Who was a fan favorite from Mortal Kombat 2.
Nice, who?
So let's see some of the moves he does here.
Boon's man. So do you name the variations? EX move gets a combo off. It looks like generally to be running the same engine. Injustice 2 and MK10. That's the kind of commentary you're gonna see here, guys. I'm talking about the engine and combos and stuff like that. It's not gonna be as much. Oh my god, that was sick. Just for your guys' information. That was pretty sick though.
Okay, now without getting too technical.
Interactables?
The geeky fighting game.
No, that's what we want.
Mortal Kombat, traditionally we've had 1 meter that's a shared resource amongst the offense.
Oh, it's two as a defense and an offense meter.
Mortal Kombat X
Oh.
is separating all 3 of those. So we have a horizontal meter is the offense attacks, vertical meter is the defensive attacks.
Like your escape option if you want to do EX, meter burn escapes and stuff like that.
See, Baraka
That could be
shooting
it changes the
through
decision making a little
offensive
bit.
moves.
I like it.
Also can extend
Whether it's
this
good or
stab
bad in the
into
long
a
run,
throw.
at least it's something new and
Also,
different.
Scorpion here is going to
Yes, he used meter to do a back roll.
using his defensive meter.
And they can tune it in future. They can say, okay, defense is too weak in this game. Universal across the board, everybody gains defense meter faster, for example. Without saying meter gain is increased across the board.
And tension to the fighting. Both Baraka and Scorpion
Fatal blow?
right now.
Is that like, the critical moves in Soul Calibur? I wasn't listening to what he explained. I question, but is it using meter for him to use interactables?
Fatal blow attack, but it actually will regenerate after a cooldown period. So you notice is
So expanding on
this
X-ray
fatal blow is
moves.
established, you can pull it off.
Oh, when you're low on health, you get fatal blow, not that you can finish them off. So it's a form of comeback mechanic, but it's only you gain access to this option.
And now for the
Not,
outdone,
it's a big
Baraka
move, does a
now
buttload
has
of
his
damage,
fatal
which
blow
I
available.
like. Or is it just a super move? That's what I was thinking, Grid, that it would be like Armor Break in Soul Calibur. You can now do a finish them type situation. Oh shit. That is nasty. Oh my god. Oh fuck, man. I was quoted just minutes ago as saying how much more could they crank up the gore. That's nasty. Like that's like not appropriate for children. You know what I mean? Like that's them rating. Like whatever. I'm not usually affected by gore. That's like that's way up there.
Intros, the victories, as well as a huge variety of
I'm not saying it's
skills.
awesome or it's offensive, but that is about as gory as you can get, huh?
Scorpion, they're changing the mask here, picking a new one. You can actually program
But it seems to be, it's not based on, you don't burn your meter to use it. When you get low on health, you have access to it. So it's more comparable to Rage Drive and Tekken, actually, right? Equipment? Wait a minute, dead game.
And of course, Scorpion's iconic spear can be swapped out for a new one as
No,
well.
I assume it'll be like the Injustice gear system where they'll tune it to not be used in tournament and we don't have to worry about it. Or
Now, this visual
they're
is gonna
changing it
give
so
you
will
an
be.
idea of kind of like the dramatic differences you can have in the different variations of Scorpion here.
It's also a little sad that it was never balanced for use in Injustice. That you have a limited set of this equipment, so you combine your variation with your gear to make a unique version of a character. But this doesn't work in fighting game tournaments the way that we have hundreds of setups scattered around the venue. Remember how bad the gems were in Cross Tekken. But in MOBAs, or in, well, Counter-Strike's not a good example, but in MOBAs or some shooting games, Rainbow Six maybe, your loadout is part of what you're meant to do in competitive play. I'm doing this character, so you'll do this character with a different loadout to complement. But it doesn't apply as much in fighting games. Yeah, I already had questions about how that custom variation system would play out in tournament. Of course, everyone's gonna have hot takes. Forget about what I think. Everyone else is gonna have takes already as soon as this is over. And usually NRS is good about, they'll tell us point blank, we're intending this for use in tournaments, we're not intending this for use in tournaments. Obviously, it's up to the community what we set as a rule set. So they said point blank, the Injustice 2 gear system is not meant to be balanced for tournament, and you can turn it off. Custom variations, my immediate assumption is it will be intended for use in tournaments, and there's limited how much you can customize it. It's not just put on the best everything in GG, but we'll see. Okay. Just defense? Nice. These games have been needing more defense for centuries.
Evade low attacks and also open another window for countering move. Now notice Sonya's health is reached below 30%. When it reaches there again, you're going to notice a fatal blow is available. That's when you can release the devastating.
So those moves are meter burn to go into those mini X-rays. That's not the fatal blow.
Again, Sonya has her fatal blow ready, so she can release it.
And about how much damage does it do? That's all it is. It is just a super move. Okay, the first hit was just a meter burn move. It's not. This is not all part. Only this is the fatal blow. It is basically a rage drive. More than a rage drive. It's a big damage move. You can combo into it.
Blow available for Scarlet, which she'll attack here.
It's not as much of a new mechanic as they're making it sound like, but it does replace. The meters are all, like you said, the meters are all on 3 different things. If you don't burn your offense meter to use it, Jesus Christ.
Which is enough to win the match, and you might have seen a glimpse of this fatality here.
Man, they did crank the gore up. I stand corrected. This is definitely more gory than MK10, right? Not just in terms of visual fidelity, like the graphics are higher quality, like the creative amount of gore and the gross out factor. I think that's what people wanted. Me, I could take it or leave it. I don't more care about the
guessing maybe you
gameplay.
guys want to see some fatalities, a little more.
Yeah, we do in this day and age, especially when it's published by WB. We do gotta think about microtransactions and being nickel and dime. It's sadly it's not too early to worry about that because they've probably already decided what they're gonna do. Okay. Environment KOs like the classic games. Well, I see where this is going. Oh man. I definitely stand corrected. They forget taking the group up to 11. It's more up to 12. I guess 11 would be
Okay.
fitting.
First of all, Scarlet has returned. What has it been like to bring
Yeah, it's
back
pretty cool.
this fan favorite that we haven't seen since Mortal Kombat 9?
Yes, we introduced Scarlet as a DLC character in Mortal Kombat 9, and she's been one of the most demanded returning characters, so we knew we had to kind of abide by that.
Yeah, I can't remember who was an MK10 and not. So I thought she wasn't an MK10, but I wasn't sure.
We saw some classic combatants like Scorpion, Sub-Zero, plus we have Dark Raiden and Baraka.
Dark
is
Raiden,
back.
his name.
We
Evil,
saw
actually even
Baraka
more
rip
evil
somebody's
Akuma.
face off. So, okay, we also have some new fighters. For you and your team, what is this process like, not only to create new characters, but to refresh some of the classics?
Refreshing and deciding which ones to come back is pretty much you guys. You know, we hear what you guys say. As far as creating characters, that's some of the most fun we've had. You know, Garrus is a new character that we have a really cool look at. You're going to see a little bit later. But
Yeah, I can't
that
wait.
process is usually very collaborative with with the people.
All right, looking forward to that, folks. And we witnessed combos, fatalities.
Right.
One of the hallmarks of Mortal Kombat has always been the rich, detailed story. So what can we look
Oh,
forward to in Mortal Kombat?
I thought you said the rich deep gameplay. We got debated there.
Of the beginning of the story here, we actually have a video here. It's the entire opening cinematic, the whole prologue of the
Oh,
story.
spoilers incoming.
It
Yeah,
really
so
picks
usually
up right
NRS is
after
pretty good
MK9, and
at
you guys are gonna get a big
not
kick out of it.
letting the publishers tell them to make it pay to win and things like that. It's just microtransactions are for cosmetics and stuff like that, and which I still don't like, but it's fine. It's not offensive. I assume they're not gonna make any major faux pas, but in 2019, you never know. Where you just you gotta pay to unlock special moves and stuff like that. I highly doubt it, but it's worth being vigilant about, which is sad to say. Anyone else getting a Jurassic Park vibe? Like I'm else I never played the MK10 story mode.
You should thank me, Raiden. Our battle changed you. For the better.
So immediate question, if Evil Raiden's in the starting roster, is Good Raiden DLC? Or it'd be like Denjin Raiden, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be like extra good guy version Raiden, like when Evil Boo and Good Boo split.
But you wear my amulet. Finally, you embrace the truth the Elder Gods deny. The truth I was cast out for speaking.
The truth I embrace, Shinnok,
is that mercy is wasted on those who defile Earthrealm. I will destroy our enemies before they destroy us, starting with you. How, Raiden? Not even you can kill an Elder God. There are fates worse than death.
Damn. But then he won't die?
I will deliver you to Liu Kang and your Netherrealm minions. You will serve as warning and an emblem of my wrath.
This was not
Who
your
this?
destination, Hawk. Once again, the Thunder God has upset the balance of history.
Frost?
But know this. The arc of the universe bends to my will. It is only
I don't think so. She's not like a god, right?
time.
Time? So the time guy is her servant, maybe? But the view's not bad. What's up, guys? If you're new here, I'm a big FGC guy, physically and in other ways. Share my hot takes. So you can smash that follow button. We play all kinds of fighting games on here.
Ed, that was amazing. April 23rd cannot come soon enough. So the story picks off right after MKX. Dark Raiden reigns. Time is being manipulated. How fun was it to dive into the rich Mortal Kombat lore and design moments?
Yeah,
when
supposedly the
these
story was in
characters
MK9,
different
10,
version of themselves?
and
Yeah, that was the most
Injustice.
fun
It has
about,
always actually been good. I mean, I've seen most of the story of Injustice 1 and 2. It is pretty good.
Introduced a character, Chronica, who
They
has
tell
been
an
kind of
interesting
running
story.
The show since the first Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I don't
Everything
necessarily like
that
when they
was
do that.
happening was
Say, oh, this character was
planned
totally here the whole time.
Up to the point where Raiden kind of.
After a handful of games, you can do it. After 11 games, can you really do that?
Play tricks with time that's going to introduce.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
situations
Whether you think it was like the
over
best, a great
characters
story for a
not
fighting game or
beyond
for a game in
themselves.
general, it was a
And
story
it's
that
such a
DC
great,
Comics fans would actually care
great
about.
story mode
Here's,
you
I want to see
cannot
my
be
character do
proud
this,
of.
my favorite character do this. This guy beat up that guy.
Edwin,
These
thank
characters
you
team
so
up for the
much
first time
being
ever.
here. Give it up for the legend, ladies and gentlemen.
They do in that vein, and so MK is the same way. They do a story where
I have
this is what we want to see as
one
MK
more
fans.
question
Our favorite character do something badass,
before we go.
kill his
What
rival, get killed by
changes
his rival.
have you made
Something actually
for
happens
this
in the
installment?
story, unlike in most fighting game
We have
stories
something
where it's
really special
whatever.
For Mortal Kombat 11, we have a real-life badass playing one of our most iconic characters in the game, and we cannot wait to make this announcement.
Let's take a look.
Well, Ed Boon having a stroke on live on stage. The biggest reveal. Yeah, Sony does look different. Is that because she has a certain mocap?
You've been
Actress?
looking for me, Scarlet.
Yeah, I didn't recognize her.
Hi. Sonya Blade calling in air support.
So for whatever reason, I could be reading too much into it. The way they're hyping up Sonya makes me feel like Cassie is probably not in the game.
Now I get to try and be her.
But who knows?
The first time I can remember playing Mortal Kombat, my mom was a college professor, and one of her students actually let me play, and I was complete like button masher, but I was Raiden, and I beat him as Raiden. And it was like the first time that I beat an adult in like anything.
There we go. Ronda Rousey FGC.
Yeah, I thought it was
Confirmed?
the coolest. character has been really different and really interesting and fun because I don't have to think about how I look and only about how I sound.
Has she really never done voice work
It almost
before,
gives
ever?
me permission to be as
I feel like
ridiculous as
felt
possible
like she
because
had.
No one's looking and no one's judging, and all that matters is what it sounds like. Feels so good to say. Say it loud. It feels great. Yeah.
Sorry for that.
I've been a fan of Mortal Kombat for almost as long as I can remember. For a little kid, I love me some gore.
Interactable chainsaws. For the first time ever. Has there ever been an interactable chainsaw
But
before in an
true
IRS
to
game?
Mortal Kombat. Honestly, it was the first game that had like real intrigue of just more than okay, I'm gonna hit this guy, he's gonna hit me, and who wins. It wasn't just like who's the better fighter. It was why is this person mad at that person and this and that. It just drew me in to think of.
Yeah, MK's always had the
just
lore.
fighting, but the
Can't argue with that.
world.
Even if we don't care about that much, you can't
Yeah,
argue
it's
with
been
that.
a great experience.
I mean, obviously she's a good fit, but you gotta think of all the female fighters in Mortal Kombat, Sonya is just the most famous. She's not necessarily the most martial artsy, although obviously if she's in the military, that element is there. So I don't know if surprise is the right word, but it's not the first character that jumps to mind. Right? You guys agree with that?
Rhonda, thank you so much for being here. How does it feel to be part of an iconic franchise like Mortal Kombat and to be voicing Sonya Blade?
Oh, this is a dream come true. I tried to grow up to be Sonya Blade as close as I could. Like, I feel like if Raiden came down right now and had to pick 3 warriors Mortal Kombat, like I would definitely be that person. And now instead of being the closest thing I can be to Sonya Blade, I am actually Sonya Blade.
Earthrealm is in good hands. So how did you prepare for this role? Is there anything that you did specifically to get into Sonya's headspace or things that you pulled from your fighting experience?
Well, it was very secretive, this project. I really didn't get to know very much at all. And so I tried to inhabit her headspace by actually emulating her fighting style. And I got to do her Karana on Triple H at WrestleMania. So he was my Kano for the evening. And
Nice, Sue.
I've been watching the gameplay, and Sonya actually does a rolling Juchikatami armbar that is like my absolute favorite.
Damn.
She just
The
rips
deep
someone's
cuts?
arm off with it. I can totally do that. And so, yeah, I was just getting my In Your Sonya in.
What excites you most about Mortal Kombat 11?
Well, I'm excited about a lot, you know. I mean, they really do outdo themselves every single time, and when you don't think that they can do it anymore, I mean, it's
The gore
it's
factor,
going on,
I gotta
and
stand
I didn't
corrected
think
on
the
that
graphics
one.
could get any better, and they obviously are. I mean, I have no idea what's going to happen, like with the rest of the story. I know my parts, but even still, I'm just like, there's so much secret involved that I just cannot wait to see how the story unfolds. There's so much that I'm probably ignoring my family for a while and shut up in a room.
Yeah, we're all
finding
taking
out.
off work. Don't worry, we're all taking off work. Now, I already know the answer to this question, but which character are you most excited about for Mortal Kombat 11?
Sonya Blade, of course. Even though I kind of hope I see Johnny.
Rhonda, thank you so much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen,
That's pretty sick.
give it up one more time for the voice
They said
of
real life
Sonya Blade,
badass. Did they say
Ronda
badass is
Rousey.
plural? So who else? Now we have her as a fan reference. Who's our next guest?
Oh, more dreams coming true.
I mean, I have no doubt that she really has some affinity and love for the franchise, but yes, it's hard to shake that manufactured feeling. Like, okay, you paid a lot of money to get a fans person to be in your game. They're happy about it because they're being paid a lot of money. They're cool. I like them. They like us. Okay, I'm mostly just here for the gameplay. You know, next question.
Tyler, great to have you, man.
Wow, Josh, thanks. Thank you guys. Good to see you. Good to see you.
So tell us what's going on with Combat Cast.
I seen this guy on the Injustice streams. He has a good knowledge of gameplay and community and stuff
There's
like
so
that.
much cool stuff coming up this year, and I will let you know right now that our first Combat Cast is in less than 2 weeks.
Cool. But they're already saying some of the deep cuts, gameplay-wise, are going to be buried there. They're not going to be here. So that's good news. This is bad news.
Pretty big. New logo. We got a few surprises in store for you. I'm not going to talk about them right now, but
Whoa. Whoa, 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 bro. Was that who I think it was?
Yeah, that's who you think
Wait,
it was.
wait,
Yeah.
Was that? Was
Yeah,
that?
no. We're
But I
not
missed
talking
it.
about right now. We're gonna wait until the 30th to find out.
Who was it? I missed it.
You're gonna want to
My fight money.
see that. Our first Combat Cast will be live on every single Mortal Kombat social channel. I don't want any of you to miss this.
Okay, we got so much
On
good
Mixer?
stuff coming up, but I need to ask for a friend.
Okay?
Is there going to be a collector's edition?
Actually, yes, there is a collector's edition this year,
You guys know I love collector's editions.
and it's badass. And I want everyone to see right now what we've put together.
Whoa! Okay, that mask looks incredible.
It is cool. Imagine the Master Chief helmet for Halo 3.
Actually, I have the Scorpion mask. It wasn't magic. I just walked back there. This is one of the coolest collector's editions we've ever done. In addition to this mask, if you pre-order any version of the game, you get.
How long is this? I'm curious. I thought they would have more
Which begins
gameplay,
on
but if
March
it's like
28th.
2 hours long, then maybe I don't want to jump the gun.
I don't want this. I need this. Put me down for one. I am sold, and you can purchase yours too at your local GameStop here in the United States.
Beta access.
For everyone
So
else around the world,
I was waiting for information on. Does that include the PC version? The PC version usually gets the
just
shaft
about wraps it up
on
for us
betas.
here on stage, but stay tuned because we have a lot more coming up on the live stream.
I hope we so,
Some folks.
since we barely
Live
heard
on the
anything.
Reveal floor here in Los Angeles, and a pro exhibition featuring some of your
Okay.
favorite.
Well, we'll stick around for that then.
combatants.
I didn't realize it was gonna be that long.
We do have one more big reveal. But
So I said I was gonna do
first,
the RE2 demo
a
today,
big
but maybe this will
thank
be
you
it for
to Ed
today.
Boon and the NetherRealm Studios team for joining us.
We'll see if this goes till 3, 4 o'clock.
And of course, Sonya Blade herself, Ronda Rousey, for being here today.
She's great. And I want to extend a huge thanks to everyone tuning in from all over the world. Thank you so much for being a part of the Mortal Kombat 11 reveal. We hope you're excited for the official release of Mortal Kombat 11 on April 23rd. Oh, so Josh mentioned the reveal just a second ago. Are you ready to see it? Here we go.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. Okay. Time, they hadn't done a time character in Mortal Kombat before. They did. They creative. This far in the franchise, they creative.
Thunder come lightning. Do you fear nothing, Geras? Nothing within your power reach.
It's kind of like a slight Protossy vibe. Wall carry. That's interesting. If it like guaranteed wall carries from anywhere on the screen, it's like a different application to it being damaged. Sick. Sand because time. It took me a second to be like, why is it sand? That's universal, right? The wall jump. Isn't teleporting because time travel. Could be different. The sand's probably one variation, probably sands of time, and the teleporting is another variation. Predictions, Xerox predictions. That's pretty sick. And it's another way to get creative with the gore, right? You're frozen while I do X, Y, Z to you, and then you fall apart. Oh man, that gets me every time. Nice. You definitely gotta give him credit for being creative still 11 games in. With A, gameplay mechanics, B, the gore factor, C, creative choices, storyline, when most fighting games don't even care at all about the story. So they're ticking a lot of boxes. People talk shit about NRS games as fighting game players. We don't realize MK11, or not, I don't know about MK11, but NRS games sell way more than other fighting games to the casual audience, like by leaps and bounds. You can look that up. Slight citation needed because I don't know compared to Tekken 7, but I remember hearing that it sold way more compared to Street Fighter 5 in modern fighting games. So they do that for the community. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we get a AAA game that gets on the calendar next to Call of Duty and stuff like that, which regular fighting games don't. And you can dismiss that if you feel like dismissing things, but that's pretty cool. And they deserve a lot of credit for everything they do in terms of bringing celebrities into it, bringing the community in on it, having community managers, doing regular balance updates, having good netcode, doing a PC version when people didn't always do PC versions. So any criticisms I have to be balanced with that they do a lot good for the community, and NRS even existing when after Midway went under is a good thing. And the game looks sick visually, but I was expecting a little more in terms of the gameplay elements. Yeah, thank you, Regis. If you heading out, take care, brother. Anyone else, take care. If you came for just the hot stuff, there's my hot takes. I can go on at length. You guys, we can chat about it. You guys say what you think, and I'll say what I think. They are doing more stuff. I'm gonna stay on and show whatever else they're showing. There's okay with this. Oh, there's a schedule here. This is PST, I assume. Well, yes, this is past this time already. So the Pro exhibition is next noon, which is in 25 minutes. Celebrity interviews. You guys know that's my favorite. Maybe we'll take a break during that. And how long is the RE2 demo? Could I knock the RE2 demo out in the next hour and then come back for the Pro Player exhibition? No, where's my math expert? Where's Anti-Sky? Ending at 5:15, so I won't even be here then. I'm going out at 5. I'm hyped for as well, so I was gonna do the demo. I've been planning the demo all week on stream, but I just haven't found the time. So maybe if this is gonna last this starts in 25 minutes, celebrity interviews, and lasts 45 minutes. So if I can finish it in that amount of time, maybe I'll just do it right now, and then come back for the Pro Player exhibition. Or we just talk about MK for an hour. That's not beyond my skill set. But I mean, what did you guys think of that? What did you guys think about that reveal? Did it have what you wanted? Did you get the characters? What do we have for characters? Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Sonya, Time Guy, Evil, Raiden, Baraka. That's 6. I said 8. Why can't I not think of the other 2? Liu Kang? Am I right about Liu Kang? And oh, and Scarlet. Right? Did I miss anybody? Was it Liu Kang or is it somebody else? Who did I get wrong? And then, so there's a lot to say there about who wasn't shown. No Jax, no Johnny Cage. Never mind Deep Cuts characters. No regular Raiden. No Smoke. None of them. No robots. No other ninjas other than Sub-Zero and Scorpion. None of the female ninjas. Right? Presumably some number of those people are in, but it seems telling who they made a point to show. They didn't make a point to show. Assume 100% that Katana's in there, but if they didn't even show Katana, do we really think that Jade is in, for example? Maybe I'm reading too much into that, but that's what we're here for, to read into things, right? That's actually the RE2 remake is my current donation goal. I managed to have hidden it. And when I say donation goal, that includes subs, that includes bits. It's not that I'm asking for money for RE2. I am telling you what your subs and stuff are going towards. You guys like that? I almost showed my 2-factor authentication key on stream by accident because it popped up on the wrong monitor. Like I was talking about how that's a problem earlier. I think that's an actual big problem. Like two-factor authentication is almost more trouble than some may say two-factor authentication is almost more trouble than it's worth when you barely make $20 a month from your stream. Please, Twitch cops, listen to me. Jeez, guys, don't all talk at once. Gameplay mechanics wise, the meter system I like. Immediately out the gate, before even getting into any hot takes about do I think it's going to be balanced, how I think it's going to affect tournament play, how they better not do X, they should do Y. Forget about any of that. I just like that it is something different. After 4 NRS games, it's time for a change. And it'll automatically give a different flavor to other fighting games, including Street Fighter, including Tekken. That defensive mechanics are on a separate meter. So you have a revenge move, which is not unique at all. They exist in Soul Calibur for starters. But they exist in Tekken now, right? Rage Drive. And Street Fighter 4 has Ultras, which build on a Rage meter instead of your regular Super meter. So that's not new, but it's new than Mortal Kombat. And the defensive and offensive being two strictly separate meters. I don't know if no game has that. Some anime fighter must have it. And obviously, Guilty Gear has like your guard meter and stuff like that. But it's pretty different for a game this close to the main line, like casual sector fightings, which you would list as like Street Fighter, this, Tekken, and maybe like Marvel. That random casuals might play. That's new, and at least I like the notion that they could tune the balance based on that. This character, who has weak defense, now gains defense meter 20% faster, but not offense meter. Hypothetically. And they usually do that a lot in NRS games, a lot of fine-tuning, which people may or may not like. But the notion that those two things working in tandem, I in theory like. It plays well with the variation system. In this variation, you have this really good defensive move, so you want to focus on preserving your defense meter, or building it, however you may build it. This character cares more about offense meter, or this variation does. It gives enough different knobs that you can look and say, this is the closest I'm gonna get the Trump hands. Knobs. That they can fine tune and build the characters around and make different characters unique. The problem with a lot of fighting games, as dyed in the wool as you get for FGC guys, but we know this is true. After the game's been out for a year, 2 years, it evolves into here's the top 5 characters. They have the best Oki. They run their Oki over and over again, and they hit you once, and now it's time to guess asshole, and the game's over in 3 or 4 guesses. And how many times can you really watch that? Especially NRS games have had that problem. So this potentially, I can't speak to if it will or not, but potentially gives some breakups there. That we have a whole different aspect of balancing with the custom variations. If you can say, okay, I'm going to build a variation around turtling. I'm going to add these custom moves. Maybe it gains defensive meter faster because of some mechanic. That I don't know yet, because they haven't shown that much. That's the question. If you build both meters in equal measure for everything that you do, for scoring hits, for getting hit, for doing special moves, then it may not matter as much. But if they're built by different activities, then it may be a big deal. You may have to adjust your playstyle to start. So it starts in 1 minute, guys. That's why I didn't take a break enough. It starts right now. So we'll see what they mean. Content creators could be people that we like and care about. I don't know who's there with Wonder Shepherd, some of those guys. All the NRS heads, or it could be a bunch of random celebrities that we don't care about. We'll just have to see. I just got 10K viewers right now restreaming that shit. Imagine living the life of luxury. I never begrudge anybody else their success, but imagine being able to just restream something else and get to 10,000 viewers. Feels good. Well, you guys speak up if you got any questions. You want to know, hey, what do you think of X? What do you think of Y character being in, not being in? I'm all ears. Otherwise, we'll wait for this to start. They're already behind schedule. It's late. It's trash. They had a new feature, smaller communities recommended for you on Twitch. I presume will pop up on there, given that we usually in that 10 to 20 viewer range. So that's good. What do I do to get recommended? If you like people dropping combos, you may like Xerox. I'm almost paranoid when they have their headset on. They hear any noise and they're like, somebody's knocking on my door, or an axe murderer is about to kill me. Like it could be like just like something that if you heard it without your headset on, you just be like, oh, it's a car outside. But when you have your headset on, it's like it could be anything. So I better get ready for a fight to the death.
Brother.
Hey, whoever that was, thanks for the follow. I'll up one day. Don't I have it configured right? We're waiting for these celebrity interviews. I don't know what they may be. Celebrity is a pretty broad term, as we've seen. I play with keyboard, so follow. Sounds familiar. We know each other? They had a bunch of cosplayers and stuff earlier that were like, I don't know who this person is, so that could be celebrity content creator. So they did an invitational. They were like, submit your for this. They said submit your application if you want to go to this. I don't know if they flow people out or just like, here's a pass, and then they can come. So obviously lots of people from the community are there, but lots of mainstream content creators, not only for gaming. I saw lots of like TV celebrities or big name YouTubers who are not even gaming, never mind esports focused, there. And I don't know what percentage is what. No, needless to say, some Evo FGC community people are there, but if they'll actually interview any of them, I don't know. We haven't seen one yet. To my chagrin. Am I wrong about this time? Oh, 12:45, which is noon, which is 3 p.m., which is 10 minutes. I was wrong on time. Not late. Yeah, I thought about doing the RE2 demo for like an hour until the Pro Exhibition's on. And I only have 45 minutes. Do I have time for that? Let me see where my controller is. I'll get my Xbox controller. I plugged in my Xbox 360 controller in case we want to play something. I'm back. I hope nothing was too noisy. I didn't like bump the mic or anything like that. That's the worst, huh? I suppose I could turn on the green screen for this. I somehow neglected to think of that, because this is not going to be very resource intensive. Let's give that a shake. Yeah, see, it works just mediocrely enough that I'm like, I don't know if this really adds anything to my stream. But you guys can let me know. I do look like an edgy anime character when I'm looking at I'm looking at my second monitor. My second monitor is over this side, which is where chat is and everything. So I'm always looking over. If it looks like I'm not looking at the camera's my first monitor. So if I'm staring, which I've been told that's what you should do, just stare at the camera and like. Pretend if you're a person who's right here, I'm talking to you. Hi, what's up? Hey, what did you guys think of that last meme? Okay. But that's very unnatural to me. You guys are in the chat, so I'm looking over at the chat over here. As anyone who's new here, you got obviously smash that follow button. Goes without saying, do I really gotta say it in 2019? But I also on all our socials, Twitter, Discord. We have Discord. We talk about fighting games primarily. So if that's what you're looking for, meet some new fighting game people. We're in there. Like swimwear, some may say. So yes, my main thing I was focused on hearing about obviously is gameplay, which we hear a decent amount about. I was hoping for more maybe, but then the other component is what about like I almost distinguish features from gameplay, like how's the lobby system work, how's the online work, what's the rank system like, does this quality of life feature make a comeback? How's the season pass work? Those are that's like, it's not just it's graphics, B, gameplay. Like gameplay is not subdivided into game balance, game mechanics, and features. Like, do we have the ability to do X, Y, Z to make this kind of lobby, that kind of lobby? And I almost care about the latter more than anything else, because I want to know if there's crossplay. I want to know how the rank system works. You guys don't know, you can say rank doesn't matter, and obviously it doesn't. I mean, it's a video game, so nothing matters. It's only a game. But insofar as we care about ranked as fighting game players, boot up a new fighting game, start playing, and realize the rank system is some dumb, jank shit like in Marvel Infinite that makes no sense. And then you already know nobody's gonna play it, so therefore you can't play it. Obviously, that was not the only problem with Marvel Infinite by any stretch of the imagination, but how's the matchmaking? The matchmaking needs to be good. Literally, to me anyway, in 2019, is the matchmaking good matters more to me than is the game balanced. Or at least as much. Because if the matchmaking is not good, nobody else will play it, or even if other people are playing it, I can't get matches, and then I pay $60 for nothing. Like, I don't buy it for the story mode and stuff. Like, that means, for me, that means it's not a day one purchase. But they never say that. They're never like, and the netcode is going to be bad. And so not that I expected them to say that, but I expected maybe potentially some hinting at we're retooling the online. We're gonna have the most robust features for stat tracking in online fighting games ever, or some, you know, hyperbolic claim like that that I can at least latch onto and say, okay, they care about this shit. Never mind if it's true or not, but at least we know they're considering it seriously. They were only like the gore. There's gore, which there was. Don't get me wrong. So I don't know what my ultimate takeaway is. As far as this is an ad for me to purchase MK11, I didn't get the info I was looking for. It's still neither a day one purchase or a sale purchase or a never purchase or a pre-order now, which is what they'd like based on anything I've seen so far. Although there was some cool stuff. Hot take. I mean, that's not really a hot take. That's more of like a mild Chipotle take. I don't gotta be honest with you guys. I'm not gonna go worked up Angry Joe style, saying it's a dead game before it's out. We don't really do that on here. Now, guys, based on the title, you can see I'm more somebody who cares about gameplay, nuts and bolts. So you know what to expect, and I didn't see as much of that stuff as I was expecting. I'm excited to have something new and different for an NRS game. It's not just the same as the other ones, and that's coming day and date on PC, and presumably the beta is going to be equally as present on PC as this other one. That's a big one. If that's the case, that's a strong factor if I'm going to pre-order. So they didn't even talk about that. They didn't talk about this version's coming out. You know, I think they already said they're all coming out at the same time. They're not going to do a staggered release. I think they already said that. But they didn't talk about it at all. The big C word, crossplay, not mentioned. Not only was none of that specific stuff mentioned, but they didn't even go into that like stratosphere of discussion. It was only check out the score. So I am mildly underwhelmed, but there was still some cool stuff in it. If you want to have my one sentence take. Alright, well, I'll take that one step further, Grin, and say I assume these guys have been playing for a couple of days. They've been able to get some substantial hands-on time. That's a different than the MK10 exhibition. That was right before the game launched. They got to play for a day or so backstage and actually learn setups, because that's what you want to see in an exhibition. And we can take some credit for that. That they actually care enough about the community to do that. If you guys know the lore, this is a mildly spicy interpersonal interaction, but I won't say more than that. See, this is, and I'm sure this guy's a cool guy. Maybe his show is awesome. I'm not trying to be too cynical. Obviously, he's not the kind of person that I wanted to see. Like, why don't you interview Rip or something like that? Is Rip there? If the viewers have no idea who any of these people are, there's no reason not to do actual community. If it's not somebody mega famous, like, you know, Chris Evans is there or something like that, there's no reason to pick random vlogger 7 over random FGC member number 7. My opinion. But this guy may have a huge fan base that I don't know about.
Kind of makes you queasy in a good way. I was going to ask you about that because as a scientist, which you are a scientist, what biologically, how realistic are these fatalities? Well, I can say that coming to an event like this gives me a lot of potential ideas for stuff to do. But obviously, in a game like this, things are kind of cranked up to 11 in terms of what is physically possible or not. What I will say is that
the force required to rip a limb off or punch someone's face off from behind their head is a lot. A lot of these,
But they're like gods and stuff, so.
conservatively speaking, a lot. I mean, the kinds of forces it would take just to lift a human off the ground with something like a punch is somewhere around the same amount of force that a car going highway speeds would hit you with. So it's substantial.
Well, I think it was heavily hinted at in the trailer that there's a time travel element in this game, potentially. Is that something that you might be excited about?
Well, time travel is always super confusing in that the universe seems to not want us to go backwards, only forwards. If you go really, really fast, you can go less through time than other people do, which is kind of a form of time travel. But in terms of going backwards, I think I'd like it more for the story element than I do for the physics element, because I don't think... I mean, if Stephen Hawking couldn't figure it out, I don't know if we're going to.
So you're saying to me that Mortal Kombat is not realistic, is what you're saying?
I'm saying...
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Mr. Boone?
I'm saying that...
Shots fired!
Mr. Boone, I'm saying that Mortal Kombat is heavily drawn from mystical things, and it's fun to watch.
That's
Right.
true. It is very fun to watch. Where can we watch you?
To that face, but I mean, even stuff like propelling people in the air with a gun. It's obviously not really possible.
And maybe some Mortal Kombat stuff will be in
So even in the context of the game, there's no consistent internal logic. Not that we want there to be. That seemed like a weird choice for an interview.
I'll see you guys in a few.
For some reason, I cannot get this Streamlabs pop-up to appear on the screen. I have no idea why. I am getting irritated. Like, I don't know if it's an age thing. You guys can tell me if you feel the same way. Like when I try to do something, it doesn't work on the first try. I'm agitated. It doesn't work on the second try. I'm ready to throw my monitor out the window. Like, not even just with computer stuff. I'm just in general. If it takes me more than 2 tries to like get my washing machine to do what I want, that washing machine better watch out. Like, it's about to be in big trouble. I barely have enough time in the day to like get done what I need to get done. I don't have time to fuck around with the washing machine. I don't have time to fuck around with this fucking Streamlabs button. Why doesn't it work? It doesn't throw up any error message. Doesn't tell me you did this wrong. It's like, yep, you did it right, but I'm not gonna appear on screen. Excuse me. Maybe I think I make it more obvious that this one right here is the most recent sub. I know it means that, but I think people may not know what it means. Subs around here are called boneless brothers, man. Anyone can be a brother, but it takes cold hard cash to be a boneless brother. It takes a real man to be boneless. I gotta be honest, guys, this is not exactly what I tuned in to see. Falls, guys. We're doing all the other socials and stuff, exclamation mark social.
Brother.
I'm trying to get Streamlabs to work.
Hey guys, it's Chloe. Yet again, I am here with Code Abdo, aka Boss Logic. You probably
Oh, Boss Logic! I know who Boss Logic is. Yeah, that crazy, does a crazy, realistic X character art. He is awesome.
You're obviously a big Mortal Kombat fan.
Obviously, yes.
What was that like for you, that whole reveal?
That was crazy.
What was your favorite part?
The new time travel character. He was.
Yeah, it looks pretty.
Already got the gear spinning. What kind of art he's gonna do?
Inspiration for what you're gonna.
Yep. It feels like my favorite is Doctor Strange, so it feels like Doctor Strange.
Definitely, I can totally see that. So I actually, I stalked your Instagram a little bit recently, and I noticed that you posted something, like this big Instagram post talking about your journey as an artist, and I thought that was really cool.
Cool. Good shit,
Because
boss
I feel
logic.
like a lot of people out there are sort of struggling with themselves and their talent. Do you have anything that you would like to say? You guys, if it's
Because I'm struggling as a
on
streamer.
Instagram, you should go read this
Confirmed.
post. It's really wonderful. Do you have anything that you would like to say to those people out there?
Just not to be scared anymore. It's like
Okay.
there's
Thanks, boss
bigger
logic.
things like this. Like this is my first time coming to LA or leaving the country in the last 20 years.
This is your first interview too, right?
And first interview as well, as you can see.
You're doing great.
But yeah, just I wasn't gonna
Good shit,
come
boss
here
logic.
until I posted that post. So until I got the feedback and
So he must have gotten through that invite system. They sent out invites and said, yeah, if you want to come to this event,
thanks to the people
you can
like
apply.
Well, we're
So I'm glad to see him there.
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, you have so many fans.
Good shit, boss logic.
What is that?
Maybe I should have applied.
Have you met some of your fans here today?
I've met like maybe 10 of them, but it's crazy. People saying, "Oh, that's Boss Logic, that's Boss Logic," and that's thanks to the post.
It's Boss Logic. Well, it is so awesome. Thank you so much for being here and letting me chat with you. Any final words to anybody?
I'll see you in April.
See you in April. Awesome. Thank you so much. High five. Have an awesome time. I'll see you guys in a bit.
Nice thumbs up. 10 out of 10 thumbs up from boss logic. It's cool. Someone debatably from the community. He does done a ton of RFGC art over there. He does lots of other stuff. He does. You guys can look him up on Instagram. Insert Chilling Intensifies. You can look me up on Instagram with the exclamation mark social command. Boom. Nice segue. Say jam tier. But yeah, Boss Logic does tons of. I think he's at Boss Logic, and he does realistic X character, realistic Pikachu, realistic Ryu mashups of these two different games, and they are really sick. Tons of really sick stuff over these. He's been around forever since Street Fighter 4 era. So technically, they have interviewed an FGC member. We can confirm that. You know, I didn't even notice that, Grin. I didn't even notice that. That's the best part, is that I didn't notice it. I'm glad it's conceivably, it's obviously a holdover from a time when they were like, let's just give it something different that's not in Street Fighter. There was no care at that time given to how this would play out at what we call high level, because there was no developers had no concept of that back then. It was just some mechanic they threw in there, and then they said let's put it in the newer games to make it feel more nostalgic, or make it, you know, for the same reason, make it different from other fighting games. There is conceivably a way where that could contribute meaningfully to competitive play, a mechanic like that. A meter that only burns when you use movement options, not when you use certain attacks. So you can only rush somebody down if you have the meter to do so. Or you can only escape the situation if you have the meter to do so. But in practice, it usually didn't matter almost at all. So, I agree. Smart move to remove it. And maybe a lot of options that use that meter will now use up defensive meter. So, overall, although saying we have a defense meter and an offense meter, that's pretty binary. I mean, it's only one notch removed from having one meter. You know what I mean? It's not that complicated. But theoretically, it could be a smart move to roll a lot of the game's different mechanics and simplify and get new players looking at them and thinking about how I'm going to spend this meter. It's not just wait for it to fill up and do my super, because the super is now the rage art. Because they already know there are defensive mechanics that will use this defense meter, so they may even block. This could be a new age for casuals. That's maybe my hottest take of the day. So guys, I tried like 5 times to capture it. It doesn't want to capture. I have no idea why. I asked somebody who knows more about OBS than me. I should probably upgrade to not OBS Classic Old Man Edition, which 119 that should be my resolution. I'm trying to get the show on screen. It's not. My current fundraising goal is for our Resident Evil 2. So if you guys if you enjoy the stream, if you like my hot takes, like, follow, subscribe. Actually, only one of those things gives me money, but it's nevertheless, you can do them all. And we'll do some streams when that game comes out. It's more of a passive thing. Like I have a core group of guys. You can see at the top. I have a core handful of subs, and it's more just okay. I gotta check for this stream existing every so often, quite rarely, by the way. And here's what it's going towards. It's not. Please give me money.
Thank you so much. How's everybody doing? I'm so excited.
I have no idea who this is. But nice costume.
Oh my god, I'm ridiculous with MK. It's like a classic for me, and it's like an old school love, and I've just been with the game for so long in my life that if I can just do every character, I think I'll be very happy.
I think you're getting close.
Am I allowed not to like someone after hearing them talk for 3 seconds? I usually don't do that.
Okay, I am so excited about Ronda Rousey being Sonya Blade. I cannot deal with it because Sonya's such a badass. They needed to have someone who's equally
Press 1 if I'm allowed to.
player, and she's perfect. So I'm really excited to see what Sonya's
Press
gonna
2 if I'm an
bring to
asshole.
I agree. Now, I gotta ask you, because this is kind of a gender bent cosplay. This is sort of the first gender bent Mortal Kombat cosplay I've seen you do. What was it like to
Wasn't
translate
there a
this
guy
particular
katana
skin
earlier?
into like a feminine outfit? It's not quite feminine.
I feel you, Grim.
Like a fighting outfit.
Exactly. Like, okay,
Yeah, it's not necessarily sexy, Shotgun. He gives you credit for that.
A warlord. He's pretty much a demon. Like, he's crazy. I mean, I think he's amazing. He's an emperor. He's like everything that a badass should be. I particularly like the collector's edition skin because it kind of harkens back to the samurai look that the designer intended for the character anyway. And a lot of my cosplays like to pull on what the designer originally wanted for the character. So I like that when I was making this, I got to research a little bit of like samurai style and the colors they use and the design for the helmet. But it's really
I think I figured out why the donation goal is not showing up. I put the end date as January 30th, 2018. So it didn't work because that day is in the past. You guys know we only have the highest quality stream.
Really quick before we end this, because I'm desperate to know. How long did it take you to make this?
Okay, let's see. I started making this on December 10th when I saw the sneak peeks. I was like this, because I was gonna make someone else, and then I was like, okay, I'm switching gears. And as soon as I saw it, so I made it started making it December 10th.
December 10th?
Yeah.
I don't even.
Hard work.
Serious? So
Hard work cosplayers. See, we really shouldn't talk that much shit about cosplayers. They're working hard on
3 days ago. So
it. takes them longer to make a costume than it takes me to learn the character. And they only get to use it like once or twice. This guy's thinking of taking a picture. You see that? He was like, can I snap pic? Is that allowed? I don't know, old man. It's tough. This guy doesn't give a fuck. Was that Ultra David? Is that Ultra David recording? Wait a minute. Did you guys see that? Where's the instant replay? Did Ultra just photobomb the interview recording shit? Oh, it showed up.
Thank you, Alicia, so much. You are wonderful.
There it is.
Thank you. I know, me too. Stick around. We got some more interviews coming up.
Can I identify via clip if that was one David Graham? Enhance. It's after the old guy shows up. I can't tell if I'm in the right. It's. I think it is. Enhance. I'm pretty sure that was Ultra David. Good meme. Well, I wanted to do the whole. I wanted to restream the whole thing, but this is like way more downtime than I was expecting. I feel awkward sitting here talking to myself in between segments.
Everybody, welcome back. I'm taking over the
Hey, it's
interviews
Max.
for a little bit. I have some good friends here. Sorry if I have trouble hearing you. It's nuts in here. I got Maximilian and his crew, so I'm just gonna pass the mic.
Good question.
down.
Maybe he's rewatching it.
Tell everybody who you are if they don't
Let's
know,
investigate.
which they should know.
Well, I do want to watch this
Pass it
segment
down
here.
and then we'll talk.
Hi, my name is Max. I'm here with Kenny and Simmons.
They're all the guys from his
three out
channel.
of 4 of the Yo Video Games crew. Big Mortal Kombat fans. We made 3 live-action Mortal Kombat fan films since MKX.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Are very much looking forward to this awkwardly beautiful game. This game looks too good, Tyler.
I want to peep Eric's stream for just a second. See if
I
we can see what's
think
going
the
on
art
here.
team and everybody back at home at NetherRealm would really love to hear that. Big shout to them real quick for making
Is it
such
on
a
the
beautiful
WB
game
channel? It's on the
that we get
Microsoft
lucky
channel?
enough to talk about. I'm going to send the microphone down the line. I want you each to say something you're most
We'll investigate
excited
after
about.
this segment here. I see Xbox One branding.
I'm going to say the thing I'm the most excited about is the new mechanics. Between all the different Mortal Kombats, they always have crazy different mechanics between mobility, between offense and defense now. I haven't had a chance to play the game, so that's the thing I'm the most anticipating. Maybe I can get a walkthrough from Tyler if he's not too busy. We'll see. We'll see.
What's up? I'm Kenny from Yo Video Games.
Well, saying it on air.
Fanatic of the group.
Put him on the spot.
This is my Oscars. This is why.
It's not Microsoft.
This is why I came to look sharp because
Twitch.tv slash. Because I'm restreaming Twitch.tv/NetherRealm.
I'm most excited about the customization, like making the character yours. Like sometimes you get a fighting
But
game
there's
and you're like, oh,
also.
I love this character. I just don't like their look. This one you can really customize your look and get it the way you want.
What is it?
Can't wait.
The Warner.
Can't wait to start
The Warner
customizing
WB
every
Games?
character in this game and make it in my own.
Hi there, I'm Matt from Yo Video Games.
Slash Mortal Kombat.
Kenny kind of stole my thunder a little bit on that because really am excited about the customization and the way how you can really make a character unique to yourself. But I also really like the commitment to the story mode and seeing how that's going to continue forward because they were very upfront and committed to saying we are going to continue right from the last game. And
It's called MK11, by the way. We didn't talk about that at all. It's MKX. They never, even though it was the 10th game, they made a point of never saying this is Mortal Kombat 10. They said it's Mortal Kombat X, which obviously a reference to the Roman numeral X. But they never called it Mortal Kombat 10 because they never called MK9 MK9. It was just called Mortal Kombat. So they kind of simultaneously said, okay, this is the 10th one overall, but it's just the sequel to this last one. But this one they're coming around saying, yes, this is MK11.
Representation and the perspective of the CG trailer.
They're embracing it.
See it in motion, and it's like, oh, it kind of looks just like.
I don't see any other official channels other than IGN has a stream.
Like, I've never felt this way. Like, it felt the world was involved in a.
They're just restreaming what I'm looking at right now.
Everyone is here to celebrate a fighting game, and for me, that's something special.
That is something special. Good shit, man.
It was amazing being in the crowd. I was next to a lot of the tournament fighters.
Yeah, I
I was
can't
next
find
to my
it.
friends, and the energy was out of control, man. And just seeing like the cinematics.
Mary Harris is watching some old shit or
It was
something. I
almost
don't
no
know.
different from the cinematic trailer. When
Some stuff that's on YouTube.
I still have to take a breath.
I think the moment for me when it really like sunk in how big this was going to be was when Baraka showed up. And Baraka was a huge crowd favorite, and he was the talk of the town in Mortal Kombat.
I assume if there's another official channel streaming it, it would be near the top.
This nostalgic wave of people getting excited. And for me, it was like when I saw the first gameplay reveal, the colors pop so well. It's so colorful. Yes, it's violent, but it is colorful violence, and it's wonderful.
Well, I think that's all the time we have for you. You want to tell them real quick where to find you?
We're over at twitch.tv/Maximilian_dude and YouTube at MaximilianDude as well.
I'm at Unruly, UNROOOLIE. That's on everything, bro. YouTube, Twitch.
Wow, good guy.
You can find me on my YouTube, youtube.com/yo
With the
video
one
games,
URL.
and
One day I'll get
stream
that. I've been begging the
at
Twitch cops to
System
become
all one word.
twitch.tv/Xerox.
Thanks a lot, guys.
And they have
We'll
sent
be
several
back in a
death
little
threats to my house for asking too many times. I'm gonna be scumbag tech. I'm just gonna go on Aris chat and ask. They are definitely showing it. He's definitely showing a different stream. It's still they're still on stage, but it's some different channel. Not that his chat doesn't move at any rate where I can even read anything.
Hey guys, it's Chloe. I am here with Christine McConnell of the Curious.
You guys know how much I love Christine McConnell. Are you serious?
Fan of yours. I've been a fan of yours for a long time. Not to just be like, but seriously, you are such an amazing creator. So if you're not familiar with Christine, which you should be, she is a master baker, and she's.
I thought I thought
I should let you.
we were about to go in a different direction for a second.
I wouldn't know where to start. You do so much. It's so funny because
I was like, are they really gonna advertise that?
Very much, yes. You would describe it. What kind of nerd are you specifically?
I would say like kittens and sewing. I don't know. Like,
well, it's funny because I was like, all right, oh my god, I get to hang out with Christine McConnell tomorrow. You've done some amazing stuff for the Mortal Kombat community. I've seen cookies. You made some cookies. Can you describe your cookies?
yeah. Whatchamacallit?
Look, guys, I'm not averse to other non-gameplay related content creators being featured, but
And after like researching as much as I possibly could,
should
I
that
thought I'd put like a comical
shouldn't
twist
it be the
on
opposite? It should be
So I think
mostly
the first project was
gameplay focused
I
content
saw that. The most adorable Sub-Zero.
and a
I've
few
ever-
of the other
some
things.
gingerbread cookies that looked a little alarmed. And I just tried to do something fun with it. So yeah.
How long did it take you to make? Because I think I've seen 2 cakes and cookies as well. So how long does it typically take you to make a project?
Yeah, see, even the webcam's making me stutter a little bit here that I'm running the green screen.
I want to maybe this last cake I just did. I think it took 6 full 15-hour days.
Oh my gosh.
It's a long time.
So what I was saying is that I ended up Googling because I was curious to see if you had ever done cosplay because you do these really cute photo shoots and I saw that you kind of have done cosplay before.
Yeah, I'm a big Wonder Woman fan and like I'm trying to think Ghostbusters.
I saw Zool.
I watch that movie like once a month, so
I gotta say, I almost think that baking in a way is like its own kind of cosplay.
I think so, definitely. And I don't know, the sky's the limit. You can never run out of things to come up with.
That is true. Thank you so much for being here with us. It's an honor to have you here at this event. I hope you will have a wonderful time. Stick around, guys. There will be more.
Trivia is a plugin? Why does it say trivia down here? Oh, you can click it? Oh shit. I don't know what Sony Blade transform into. I think it's bird. What do you guys think? Interactive, high quality interactive stream. It was an interactive stream within an interactive stream. There is some Inception reference to be made here. Or it's Skynet. Like, it's actually scary that this is the tier that live broadcasting has reached. You can type your answer in my chat to their plugin for their stream and see if your answer agrees with my answer and if it agrees with the correct answer. And it will also send it directly to Jeff Bezos so he can know what kind of animal we want to purchase on Amazon. 2-day shipping. Hopefully they'll survive. Maybe 50-50 shot. Thought it was bird. Correct. I'm in there. Pushing the envelope.
I am excited to have some of my favorite people right here. I've run into you 1,000 times. We just met. Very exciting. We need to have words. So let's introduce who we got here.
Dude, I was just about to say I hope they don't interview these people again. They interviewed these guys already. Are you fucking shitting my dick out my asshole? Which is something they would put in this game? Like,
I'm WWE Superstar Zelina Vega,
are you
and I'm dressed as Jade.
joking?
I am Kofi.
Like, yeah, cosplay's cool.
I am Shang Tsung. Damn right you are. All right, so I want to ask a question. I'm going to go each one of you. What do you anticipate for this game? What are you looking forward to? What do you want?
Like, in a way, this is exactly the kind of stuff we dread from E3, right? Oh, here's X famous person shilling this game. Alright. So, how about the game? My perception of this is negative. That's not what I expect from NRS.
I feel like everybody has their own unique style, so it's really cool to see how they're all going to get destroyed.
I was gonna say fatalities too, but
Do you guys think I should turn the green screen on? Is the stream stuttering for you guys? This stream is stuttering for me, but I'm only streaming at 30 FPS, so you guys may or may not be noticing.
Torturing people? What is happening in the Mortal Kombat universe right now?
I love when OBS says 0 drop frames, even though my computer's running like shit.
Remember when that happened? Hey, that's that. I'm sorry I brought that up. You are a guest in our home, and I apologize.
Everybody wants to get on me. Why? All I'm trying to do is live my life. Look, I bodied Selena in Mortal Kombat on several occasions. And look, okay, we're going to have...
One more question. What moment of the show made your eyes pop? Like, what did it for you?
Back to Baraka, I know I said it already, but him eating the brain?
Is that better? Well, I closed some shit.
Come on, son. What? So dope. I love Baraka.
I have to agree with that, but I also think when Raiden sliced his head off, Shinnok, when he sliced his head off, that whole interaction really got me, so.
For me, it's got to be Scarlett's fatality. And number one, like, she did it the first time, and the second time she did it, it was a different color eyeball. So the eyes changed. Like, the
That's pretty cool.
like,
I didn't even notice that.
Man.
Good
like,
shit.
You got the different eye colors? Come on. Her fighting style, negative? Come on, man.
We had some fun with those.
Yeah, attention to detail.
Scorpion had Boone's mane as one. If you saw that, yeah. So guys, we're gonna wrap it up. I'm so glad to have you guys here. I am sure I'll see you again real soon because now we're all like best friends. Cool. Thank you for tuning in. It's a wonderful day. Glad to have these guys here. Can't wait to hang out for the
hammer is
rest
sick.
of the day. We'll catch you later.
Alright, back to the trivia. That's what we're really here for. What? It's the same question. Oh, next question in X minutes. Oh, you know what I can do? I can increase my CPU fans. I think I'm only running them with half power. I'm not streaming. I don't run them at full if I have what you call afterburner. If I had $1 billion, I would do a 2 streaming PC setup. I I'd rather never interrupt what you guys are seeing at all if I can help it. But stuff inevitably wants to pop up on the other screen or freeze the other screen. What's up, man? Peace out, about to fucking take off to the stratosphere. What's my graphics card fan, by the way, not my CPU fan? Because it's Afterburner. Just for your graphics card. Which doesn't affect, won't affect my CPU utilization. Which doesn't, I already stream using NVENC. Because my graphics cards are better than my CPU. And then I already have the fans at high capacity. What more can I do? I need a gigantic, ginormous CPU fan, duct tape, a box fan to my computer. It's an 8-core AMD processor. That's the problem, is that it's an AMD processor. I didn't want to believe the truth for so long. But it's that meme, they didn't like Jesus because he told them the truth. Like, well, how can it max out from when I do anything? I'm streaming 30 FPS. I mean, I am streaming 1080p. Right, that counts for something, but I'm streaming 30 FPS. I'm just capturing a web page. I have nothing else open, guys. I have nothing. I have Discord and my web browser. Steam. I can call Steam. I don't know. Like, why is it maxing everything out? How can it be using? How can it actually be using all 8 cores? Nothing is optimized. 2019. That's how. You used to be able to play games on single core CPUs. This processor is 100 times faster, times 8, 800 times faster. Probably more than that. And it can't even open Chrome. Like what? I don't understand sometimes. You got a new question? Boom. Wasn't it the original Sub-Zero? It's one of the Hanzo Hisashi sounds familiar. But that could be a right for fucking Tori Hanzo. Be a nice debate answer. This sounds most familiar. And it's definitely not Braicho, and it's definitely not Kuei Lang, it's just Liu Kang backwards. Well, they're the Lin Kuei. Anybody have any thoughts? I'm gonna go Lord Hanzo. That was my last guess. Jeez, what is that Chinese name? They don't care. They made a random Asian sounding name. Yeah, since I'm not confused about the fucking fly come off the floor. That's only at 70%. But hopefully the stream looks better now for you guys. I mean, I said I wasn't dropping frames. It's a weird thing. Like, it doesn't tell. That's what I look for to see. Okay, am I maxing my rig out without looking at task manager or anything like that? I just say, okay, if I'm not dropping frames, presumably I'm not maxing out. But that's not the case. Obviously, if the game is running, if I'm playing a game, tell that. Well, I'm doing other type of stuff like this. I don't know. Unless you guys visually say this looks bad. No, Rip is restreaming this as well, so Rip's not at the venue. So who is there? I should have got somebody to come on with me. I could have seen if Kid out here somebody wants to maybe working with. Yeah. Someone else to come on and gab with me about this. Maybe that's what I need is a co-streamer, a co-pilot. I often find myself running out of stuff to talk about, especially after 2-3 hours. You guys who are regular viewers, I do appreciate it, but it's hard to without a decent actual chat moving that I can, have for a sounding board. It's awkward talking to myself for 2, 3, 4 hours. Right about 2 hour mark. Right around now, I'm like, like when you're streaming, you have to act natural, and at the 2 hour mark is when it becomes unnatural. I wouldn't normally sit here and talk to myself for 2 hours. I might sit here and watch this live reveal for an hour, and just be like, "Oh, that was cool. Oh, that was cool." I wouldn't say everything out loud. That's my reaction to things, but in general, I might continually have thoughts about it for an hour, and after that, I would get up and like have a sandwich or something. So at the 2 hour mark, it becomes awkward. I'm forcing myself to come up with things to say, and I don't even know if anyone's here seeing them, or agreeing with them, or disagreeing with them. So that's the point where it becomes awkward, and I say that doesn't make good content. If it doesn't feel authentic, then new people who come in aren't gonna enjoy it, because they're gonna. This guy doesn't seem like he's reacting naturally. I'm trying, but it's actually harder than you would think after 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. That's one thing. Twitch is easier than YouTube. I don't have to edit or anything like that. I don't have to put end cards on this. I just stream and that's it. But that is on Matchmaker where it's harder. Some people are cut off for talking over the long haul. Some people aren't. And I would say I am, but there is a limit to that skill. It's like anything else. You gotta practice it to get better at it. Hey, Yuri FN, what's up? I don't actually have, whatever bot does that, I don't have that plug in. But you don't, then your name is not familiar. Unless unless you changed it from something else. I mean, that you're under a different name. I've been streaming regularly for around 2 years, if that helps you identify the information that you're looking for. 2017, I didn't stream that much. We should adjust the chroma key. So my green screen is, you guys can, I'll peel back the veil a little bit. I don't have a real green screen. If you know about the technology, you probably can tell already. I have a virtual green screen where it detects where my body is and it tries to crop out the background. And it works okay, but you can tell it's not a real green screen. It has that weird fuzziness to it. And there's no way to fine tune it in the software at all to tell it, no, you don't, come in a little more, or like, I don't even know what the term, I don't have the technology to know what the term would be. But like, no, don't crop out this color. This color is part of my person. Or like, see, you can see it's getting a little bit of like my background on the side there. Like, there's no way to turn out. The one way I can describe it is the sensitivity, right? Like, it's like be more stringent or be less stringent, and that seems like the basic feature that you'd want it to have. Like, you can do that with a real chroma key. You can tell it, crank up the similarity. Like if part of your green screen is a darker green because you don't have the right lighting, you can tell it no, like crop more, crop darker greens as well. And I can still do that. I still have access to that option in OBS, but it doesn't do anything because all the software is just feeding OBS black. So OBS just thinks it's seeing black. There's no way to tell the software to put more black or less. So there's no, I can't get rid of this what's over here. There's no way to get rid of that. There's no, as far as I know, there's nothing I can do. I'm always hyped to get a new plugin. Let you know how long you've been following a channel. So I can plug you in. This is not some kind of scam to get my social security number. Well, I'm happy to help you out. Did I just show up in your following folder? And you're like, who is this guy? Specify channel name. So you can't use it then? What do you need? What do you need from me? Fall April 27, 2018, last year. I don't know what I was shooting at. Tekken? Probably Tekken. The mystery of bonds. I do have 800, 900 followers. So I don't have 900 viewers. I don't even have 90 viewers. So the vast majority of my followers, I don't really know who they are or where we met from. But it's nice to meet you. There's obviously for a content creator with 10,000 followers, that goes without saying. But I'm in that gray area where I'm pretty good at remembering most names of people who are regulars in the chat. We have a few enough people that I'm still able to do that, but not everybody. So this exhibition starts in exactly 2 minutes. Clash Royale. Oh yep, I stream Clash Royale all the time. I don't stream it that much anymore because there's not that many viewers for it. That's the sad truth. It's not that's the only thing I care about. I still play Clash Royale almost every day. I do my dailies. I have a clan where in Gold 2, like where I still play it all the time. But the community, there's no community for it on Twitch really. Maybe on YouTube, and I don't stream on YouTube. So there's like, no point is subjective. But there's no benefit to me really streaming. I turn on the stream, I sit in the directory, nobody comes, no new followers, no new subscribers, and I turn the stream off. You know, sun goes up, sun comes down. It doesn't really go nowhere. So I kind of don't stream that game that much anymore. I would like to. I've been streaming Brawl Stars, if you play Brawl Stars. We'll see if that goes better. Exclamation mark clan will split up the clan info if you are looking for a clan. We are still active. It's just that I don't stream it that much. Like oftentimes I would have 2 or 3 people come in the stream chat when I'm streaming Clash and say, hey, try my deck. Yeah, I'll try your deck, and I'll try the deck they say. And they don't even say like, you're doing this wrong, or okay thanks, or good game. They just like, after I try a deck, they just leave without following, and I'm like, what? So why did you want me to use it? If I thought you were either gonna A, wanted to know if it was good, like know my opinion on it, or B, teach me how to play it. Maybe it's because the Clash community is like mostly 12-year-olds. I don't know. I'm not offering an explanation. I'm only telling my experience what happens in the game. Generally, when I stream fighting games, which is what I mainly play, not that I get more viewers, but the people who come and become they join the Discord, which exclamation mark social will spit out all the info. They join the Discord and they go in there and we're sharing combos, we're sharing strategies. I would love to have done that with Clash. Share decks, share ideas, talk about, hey, you guys see that tournament? But for some reason the community, because maybe it's a mobile game, the community doesn't seem to care about that as much on Twitch. Maybe there's just not a huge, maybe it's the other way around, there's not a huge community for mobile games on Twitch. Yeah, there will be someday, because only more and more games will be on mobile, no matter how butthurt people are about it, about Diablo Immortal. As phones get more powerful, only more genres of games will go on mobile. So if Twitch is originally for esports, not just for gaming in general, one day it'll be the case that esports games will be a big thing on mobile. And when that happens, don't have to be on Twitch, right? Hearthstone's on Twitch, obviously. Some mobile games are. You can find, there's a directory for Clash. There are big full-time Clash streamers, just not that many. We'll see if Brawl Stars is the same way. Pro exhibition is starting. It actually says the exhibition is starting right now. So we'll see. Oh yeah, the trivia questions. We're doing Chinese autograph. I believe I know what it is. If you have any opinions, I'll wait for any opinions in the chat. It's A. Used to be Johnny Cage main, MK9. So we got 2 out of 3 right so far. So if that's the last one, we did good. We're a real fan. Shut 3/NetherRealm. That's the stream already. Okay, cool. Okay, coming up. Yeah, Ultra David is doing commentary on this. I just checked his Twitter, so maybe that wasn't Photo Bombing earlier. GRR, whatever that. I have no idea who that is. Scar, Hayate, and Honeybee. Some Evo champs in here. Tweety and Dragon. So Tweety beat Sonic Fox at Evo this year. So if this is, are these just four fights and that's it, or is it a bracket? Feature fights. Doesn't say it's a bracket. They're trying to set up the run back. It's hard to say. Sonic Fox, debatably the favorite to win this, in that he's obviously universally dominant in NRS games, but he didn't win Evo this past year. But that's only because he's focusing on other games. I won't say only because, but a lot of people would say that. Right? He's still got top 8, and he, some of the best top players who are still only NRS players made him look, freer than he's ever looked. Most likely because he was putting most of his time in the Dragon Ball, or at least consummate amount of time in Dragon Ball. So whether that means more or less for this is up to you, or is subjective, right? Like, in other words, you would still say he still picks fighting games up faster than anybody, so he still has he's a better chance than ever. Or you could say these guys have become really beast at this kind of game only. So if it's more unique to this kind of game, if it's similar to those games, they may be better off if he still hasn't been focusing. It depends how much time they've had to play it. It could have been only a few hours. So most people will probably still call him a long way of saying that, but that's part of the job of streamers, to talk a lot about things. A couple new followers today. Thanks a lot, guys. This is already running behind schedule if my Xerox math is correct. Okay, here we go. Also central the shoulder. Got him.
Oh my god!
There's some crazy stuff in here. I was expecting to show more new characters.
Hello, and welcome to Body Count Fighting, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Joshua Gray, and we are live from
Listen,
LA.
they gave Body Count Fighting the rub on this
Mortal
one.
Kombat 11 reveal. Now, what
Good for
better
them.
way to celebrate Mortal Kombat 11 than with a series of pro exhibition matches? So, Body Count Fighting and NetherRealm Studios have joined forces to invite a handful of NetherRealm pros to compete in Mortal Kombat 11 for the very first time. Backstage, we have Hayate, Honeybee, Gurr, Scar,
Gurr's on who I don't know who he
Tweety,
is.
Dragon, Rewind,
I don't know
and of
who one is
course,
either. Sounds
Sonic
familiar?
Fox.
I don't know.
Mortal
Of course.
Kombat 11 is getting
But Dragon
ready
doesn't
to
get an of
showcase
course?
their skills featuring these players. They will take the
Shots
stage
fired.
to compete in a series of first to threes to establish bragging rights and set the tone for the upcoming pro
So it's not a
series.
bracket.
Our commentators are standing by
That's fine, I
as
just
the
wanted to
first
know.
match is about to begin. Gentlemen, let's get
I'm
this
hyped for the pro scene.
exhibition started.
I'm always hyped for more fighting games.
Hey, all right. My name is Ultra David. I'm
I
one
know
of the
this guy.
commentators.
I'm Steve Brownback from NetherRealm.
That's right. So from the home of NRS, Chicago.
That's right.
And
I'm
today's home, my hometown of Los Angeles.
super excited here. We have 8 of the best Injustice 2 and Mortal Kombat X players in the world competing in the first look at
I like that they said
Mortal Kombat 11.
they're the best players
I was
from
just
these
talking
previous
very
games, not they're the best of this
briefly
game. I
with
hate when
Scar about it.
like
They have all
esports
had
games not even out
chances
yet
to
and
get
they're
this
already
point,
this
but
is
we've
the
been
highest
going
level
on
of
for
play.
very
Like that's
long.
always
This is
it makes us look bad to casuals. Like wait, what? How can it be esports when it's not even out
Who
yet?
can find sort of one thing in the last little bit of time that they've had to play?
Yeah, they've literally had about 45 minutes, so it's almost like you pick your
This is
favorite
gonna
character,
rather
you
build up
just
the story.
kinda
Say
go.
this guy's the best in this game. This guy's the best in that game.
So we're gonna have
This is how Evo went 2 years ago.
Hayate
So
versus Honeybee.
let's see what
Two of the
happens
best Canadian players
in
in
the
world,
new and
both
upcoming.
top 8 finalists in Injustice and
Yeah, they're
MK11,
Canadian. I forgot about
actually.
that.
And two of the just the best in the world in general. Also, Tweety versus Dragon.
Which I'm extremely excited. Those are, I mean, Tweety is one of the most hyped players, and Dragon, he took a break from an Injustice 2 just as Tweety kind of ascended to a top player, so this is a very fresh
My
match.
knowledge of and lore of MK11 and MK10 and Injustice 2 tournament scene is much higher than your average person, but much lower than your person who follows it. Really, just for a frame of reference here, guys. So I'm gonna share thoughts. I watch more, probably more NRS games than most people who only watch Street Fighter.
It's also a rematch.
Probably a lot more, but probably a lot less than exists. At least now. I used to watch everything once upon a time, but not as much.
So we're gonna get a
So that's the perspective I'm coming at it from.
hopefully
And maybe I'll get way into the scene for this scene. So if that's where you guys are coming from,
Yeah, I was in the
you
back
might
area watching
agree with
them
my
play,
takes.
and they were all playing different kind of characters. Rewind was talking about.
Oh, shows their
playing
mains from
Tweety.
past
Who really
games.
knows when you get out there, and Sonic's probably used all 7 already.
Yeah.
MK11 main Rain. They didn't show Rain,
Well,
did
let's
they?
go back up to the stage and see what's going on.
Am I missing something here? They didn't show Rain.
Thank you, gentlemen. All right, folks. Without further ado, let's introduce our first player from Montreal, Representative Panda Global, Hayate. It's a battle for Canada, my friends. So good to see you. How pumped are you for Mortal Kombat 11?
I'm really pumped to come here and try the game, experience what it's like to play it, and I'm having a great time, and that's what's up.
All right, man. Excited to see your gameplay. Go ahead and take a seat. Let's introduce your opponent,
Thanks very much
hailing
for following.
from Toronto, Beast Coast Honeybee.
Scattle.
Welcome, my friend.
School. I'm not gonna try to pronounce
What
that,
do you
but thank you.
plan to bring to this game, being such a huge Mortal Kombat fan?
Well, in the last game, I was known for playing Deborah a lot. Since she's not here right now, I'm gonna use
True.
Baraka and chop, chop, chop to victory.
I don't know if I expected more than 8 characters to be shown here, but I kind of expected maybe more of the old standbys. Or more of the characters you expect from MKX. So the roster is surprising in that way,
And log in
who they
and
chose
get
to put in
ready
this first 8.
for our first matchup. In the
Only
character
one new
selection
character,
screen right
for
now,
example.
There is Baraka, who we saw earlier today, featured in that beautiful presentation from Ed Boon. And you can see the menu right now. All of the different options these pro players go through to make sure they lock in.
That's one right.
what
Do they have the like? I'm trying to look for some of those little options. Like they have the turning off negative edge and stuff like that. That MK10 had. But I can't release check there. That's it. And
Hayate ready?
oh, did it say achievements? Can you turn off the achievement pop-ups?
Started to the commentators.
Here we
That's
go.
a good
I'm
feature.
Super hyped. Scorpion is the exact character I predicted Hayate would be.
It's weird. That's the hypest thing I've seen so far. Is trying to see what's there for those options. It looked like 5 or 6 different little options you could toggle for tournament play, which is good. We always like to see that.
Most of the characters use weapons, and they definitely use them well. Like Scorpion now uses his sword more than
We don't have
any other
transcoding
has.
options, by the way, guys. Sorry if you're
He's kind
having
of been
stuttering.
reimagined as
Nothing you can do about
a
that.
mid-range combatant.
That's up to the
So
Twitch
let's talk a little
gods.
bit about how the game differs from MKX. What are some things to look for right off the bat?
One of the big things to look out for is the new meter system. There's now 2 stamina bars. There's defensive and offensive. And offense is what you use to do amplify your moves.
Meter burn moves.
Defense is what you use to do wake up attacks or wake up rolls or our new breakaway mechanic. And we have our first crushing blow. That's another one of the new mechanics.
Okay.
There are certain moves, 5 or 6 per character, where they have different properties. For example, doing the
Is Hayate known as a Scorpion player? I know him mainly as an Injustice player, so I don't know.
Punishing a move, and you will get that X-ray effect, and they do a ton of damage.
Oh man.
Eye-popping damage, mind-blowing damage. And they also can have properties like they can pop you up or reset.
The move, I'm not an expert on the move, you know, string by string, but I'm noticing a lot of different normals compared to MK9
It's
10.
no longer meter building by doing moves or taking
Oh!
damage. It's on a timer. You can almost think of it like a cooldown.
Okay.
Wow.
And it is a
That's
very
big.
fast cooldown if you've only used 1 bar, so you
So it does affect your management, nevertheless. I know I can only do a back rise and escape option every so often. It's good because it doesn't necessarily favor the offending player. Usually the offending player has the advantage because he's building more meter. No matter what, and since normals do block damage in these games, you're continually applying pressure, even if you're not guessing right. You're building meter while doing damage to your opponent. So it does remove that option. It makes it more neutral. And theoretically they can tune it based on balance. This character now builds defense meter faster if they're struggling on defense. Yeah, sorry if I didn't get hype about the fatality. That's not really what I'm way into.
Our audio department does an amazing job of making something.
It is, the gore factor is really high in this game. That's not you're not gonna get the big reactions to that kind of stuff from me. There's plenty. There's certainly no shortage of those around the web if that's what you're looking for.
Instead, we really wanted to make walking one of the key things. A very kind of old school 2D fighter feel. You can't actually dash.
Definitely the classic move.
Dashes don't really go that far, and they have a lot of recovery, so they're mostly used to like maybe when you hit
Hayate's beating his ass. That's what you don't want to see. You don't want to see it be a blowout. With the game being early, this is what you can see because somebody found 2 or 3 good mix-ups, and without knowing the intricacies, you know, it's just time to guess, asshole.
But it's not nearly as effective as it was back then, where you would kind of dash block rapidly to get in. You really have to think to get in, which then goes with what I'm saying about the normals having so much range. So the normals have a lot of range at mid-range, and everyone's using their weapons, but the walking is really strong, so you can kind of walk in and out of that range.
Wake Up EX?
Okay.
Given those moves are on a timer, if Wake Up EX moves are universal for defense, it seems like they fill a totally different role in other fighting games. You're burning your resource, but it's going to come back before long.
Right. And one of the things we wanted to do is we definitely wanted to bring back the
I'm going to get a combo off that.
offense of MKX, but we've looked at the overheads and the lows, and they have a lot
Yeah,
of
defense
overheads
historically has
for
been weak.
Like Baraka does have it's exactly
Not
the
our
same. It's like
schemes.
almost a half screen overhead, but he's not going to get a combo.
Right.
Or Scorpion does have a low that can combo.
Right, you usually combo almost
slats you down.
everything, off almost
So it's
everything.
going to be a
in our
lot rarer
schemes.
to see like the really, really deadly mix-ups.
Or those long combos where 1 or 2 wrong guesses ends the round.
Well, short hop is a new mechanic where you tap up, and it will crush any low attack or a throw, and then every character has attacks they can do out of it. They can either do a punch or a kick, and they're universal overheads that will splat.
Nice. That sounds like a good mechanic to me.
For example, if you predict that Baraka's going to try to
I had
throw
to
you, you can
mess
do
them
short
up, but it's first to 3, right?
Go over the throw and then do a splat.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you say, before even knowing anything about the game, and if it's good or bad balance-wise, it's something new and different. So it differentiates it from MK10, from Injustice. You can't just say, oh, it's another NRS game, insert cookie cutter statement here.
We also saw a couple of times
So
in
it's
there,
nice
although
just for that reason.
The wake-up system, very different.
The wake-up system is drastically different.
You know, obviously as Titan players will, the idea of this universally crushes that, appeals to my ape brain.
And you get access to brand new universal wake-up.
Yeah, the like jump CDs and K-Fighters and stuff like that.
So the up 3 will be an advancing move that kind of goes across the screen. They'll not knock you down. They'll just do a little bit of damage. But they are invincible. You can't be hit out of them. Very, very strong.
Are they safe?
They are. It's going to depend on the character.
See, ultra David asking the hot question.
Then there's the up 2, which is an anti-air move, and that actually pops you up, but they're not invincible, but they'll beat jump attacks.
Yeah,
So you
oh,
can
interesting.
decide. And there you just see. His up
Okay, okay. It's like the meter burn back 3s in Injustice. It's a universal meter burn normal.
For sure, yeah.
Did he do offense meter or defense
This is all
meter?
brand new to them.
Oh, yeah. And there you saw Scorpion's up 3 where he just kind of slit his throat and didn't get a pop-up or anything. So one wake-up attack is fully invincible and is really
Oh, no.
and you don't
That's not on my end. The stream is going jank on their end, I think.
risk, but you get great reward.
I'll refresh it with a fix in a second.
You tap forward or back, and the flip stance button, and you get a fully invincible roll that goes forward or back.
Picnic.
The only way to beat the invincible is the throw, and that is really, really strong.
It is throwable.
Yeah, yes, it's throwable. So you're not going to do any damage. It's not an attack, but you get out of dodge, and it's very, very good. And that's going to take 50% of your defensive stance.
I have refreshed. Nope. I believe it's on their end. Somebody check confirm, is this happening on everybody else's stream as well?
Block that time.
Oh, good blocking. You can see the overhead.
Twitch.tv/another.
Really good range, but it's kind of slow.
Right.
If you're really looking for it,
Alright.
to it.
Ruining my stream. Like I said, the mix-ups are really hard to see in this game.
Nice, and now he's going to get a pop-up.
So did he get that?
It's happening on the main stream right now. Yeah, it is.
There's a lot of crushing blows where the requirement is to do a punish. As you can only do the crushing blow once per game.
Man, this is the variation. This is the most OP variation in the game.
He got the pop-up, but that's the only time you'll ever be
You just gotta guess.
Okay.
So one of the big things in the meta in the game is deciding when you want to do your crushing.
One of the big things in the meta, you don't know what the meta is yet. I don't like when commentators say stuff like that. The game is not even out yet.
Honeybee looks utterly overwhelmed.
Yeah, well, that's basically how it went. So to be clear, each
So Hayate beat his ass. Next question. Presumably they'll fix it before the next match at least. Bad show for eating sports everywhere.
Got it. Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. Although it has nothing to do with me.
Thank you, gentlemen. All right, folks, let's get ready for our next matchup.
They're not acknowledging it.
Welcome from Brooklyn, New York, from Dynamic Focus, Gurr. Always great to see you. You bring so much passion to your competitions. How excited are you to be here, Gurr?
Very excited.
I mean, the fact that you have universal escape options.
New game, just super stoked to be here. Very happy.
I have no idea who this guy is.
Make the most of it.
All right, go and have a seat and get ready. Let's introduce your competitor from Texas, currently a free agent, Scar.
Free agent. Oh, it's a good show for esports. Although you may consider it a little cringeworthy to call somebody a free agent in video games. It's good because it reminds sponsors that everybody else here is sponsored. And hey, you could sponsor this guy.
This fan favorite from Mortal Kombat 9 make a return with one of the best.
Rather than back in my day, it was rare for somebody to be sponsored. We didn't assume that most of the top 8 would be sponsored. Maybe now. And now it's a given. So it's to Scar's benefit. Someone might pick him up.
Hours playing this game, but it shows how long they have spent playing previous
And of course, he's a great player. If you don't care about NRS games, you may never heard of this guy. If you do care, he's a legend. Grinding it out. Game after game. This game has a lot of money in it. Whether you think it's the best fighting game ever or the worst fighting game ever. And any game has a lot of money in it, it's hard to stay relevant for that long. People are going to be coming for that money. You need to go hard to stay on top.
Well,
for
I'm
something.
looking forward to
Scar's been out there for a
Scarlet. I
while.
mean, she's back, but she's very different.
She might as well be a brand new character. I am all in on MK11 Scarlet. I think she looks amazing and plays
that's what I'm talking about. Enough about Scarlet.
Yeah, we got time, man.
This dude right here.
So you immediately gravitated toward this character. You should probably tell everyone why, because he's very unique.
He's kind of a grappler?
Yeah, so obviously he's the grappler. By the way, some other characters have that too. It's not just him, but
Baraka
yeah,
also does have a command grab.
He does have a command grab.
He seems
So
unique
Furious
among grapplers
has,
that he maybe helps
really
to control
strong
space.
Command grab that goes really far. Corner carry is excellent. He has some good buttons, and man, some of his there is the command grab.
Yeah, like
You see
that.
how long he holds
It's
you.
not about the damage, it's about the corner carry, which is a new idea. And couple that with the universal meter mechanic, that could be a big deal.
As well. He has little kind of atrocious sort of semi-zoning, as you saw right there. He also has some crazy stuff in the variations, and I'm not sure which ones he ended up with here, but he's got some real nutty tools, let me tell you.
He has a rewind time move. He has a move where he can actually remove time from the clock. He is a very unique. It's very.
Oh, he's getting zoned though. So Scarlet's his only character?
Kind of trap character, and then with the command grab.
Yes. Yeah, very, very funky design.
Having trouble getting in there.
Right now out of Scarlet, the range is incredible.
Scarlet is the footsie's queen, the mid-range queen, in my opinion. She uses
Mid-range,
blood
huh?
to conjure weapons.
Which is a lot in RS. Usually there is no mid-range. So that's saying something. He's going in.
Multiple projections, and there's the fatal blow.
So when you're down below a certain percentage of life, you get access to the fatal blow.
Yes.
And and it is a huge amount of damage, as you can see. Round-winning damage.
Was that as big of a read as I feel like it was?
And they have armor, and armor's not as prevalent as it has been in previous games.
Okay.
You really kind of have to use your.
So it's equivalent to meaty super, right? Or maybe it's safe on block.
The Fatal Blow is going to be one of the best ways to have armor. It is not tied to your stamina bar at all.
Right.
Which means you don't have to use your resources. In previous games, you'd have to give up all your resources to do an X-ray attack. Now with Fatal Blow, you're free to use it if you have 30%, which just inherently makes them so much more powerful.
Sure.
Yeah. Right. You only get one.
The catch is once it hits, you can't use it again. So
right. Well, that makes sense. That's what I see. Does it use?
Will never have.
Oh, you can't use it again in the next round.
Oh, I thought it was rounds. Wow.
Ooh, that is big. That is big. And you won't see him as often, which to me is a plus. They take too long. They just take too long. I don't want to say that already before the game's even out, but that's usually how I end up feeling.
And he can hold the button to throw them even further, like carry them even further.
Oh, now the Fatal Blow's there for Scar.
Scoop him. That's it? That did a lot. That was the meter burn?
The last hit's an overhead of the string. If you duck block, you get the crushing
and
blow.
the fatality.
He also has a
Wait,
blow
the crushing
where he
blow.
does sand trap.
Is that
So
the
it's a
equivalent
50-50.
of like,
If they
is that
figure
similar to
they're
lethal
gonna go
hits?
Sand move, they duck, and if they get hit by that overhead, they lose 40% of their life because of the crushing blow.
You're telling me his mix-up?
His mix-up has a crushing blow in it. But
Okay,
like
this is
Fatal Blow,
definitely a mean
he only
character.
can use that once per game.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So that's one of the fun things about crushing blows. Do you want to go for that?
So it
mix-up
reminds me of a lot of
now,
Rage
or-
Drive, Rage R.
Okay.
They're similar, but they're slightly variations of the same thing. And there's a decision-making process which one you're going to use. Yeah, we can't hear the dialogue. Are we supposed to be hearing dialogue?
And we'll
Maybe
see,
the voice work hasn't been done yet.
Gur basically made a crushing blow and a fatal blow comeback right there out of nowhere. They do massive damage.
Yeah, you can really see that. I guess as the opponent, you really got to pay attention.
Combos in general in this game are significantly
shorter?
than they've been in the past, and they do less damage. And
I mean, it's nice for a change.
that damage you would get by doing the cinematic moves.
Yo, did you see that combo this guy already has?
That was a lot, though, yeah.
What do we say? 2 hours of gameplay?
And he can
so
throw,
far?
he can do a back throw, put him in the corner.
So one of the big things would be to use your crushing blow or your fatal blow to get damage instead of doing combos. That's not
So the
just
footsies kind of reminds me of
part the game, but
MK10 or Injustice, where you do a lot of take jabs to just kind of check and
there's less moves
then get
that
your
are
offense
combo
started. The
that
mix-up
can
seems
amplify
similar, but
more,
the
there's less
damage,
moves
the combo
to
damage is a
pop
little
you
bit.
up. It's going to be more about doing big damage.
Zoning
big
potentially is a little better.
Okay, here we go.
The difference in the immune system already makes changes into how the matches will play out.
Yeah, and Scarlet,
It won't just
she
be
has
one
like
guy get
4 different
mauled.
projectiles, so
Yeah, and
Hopefully.
Scar, there's not much reason to do anything else. It's just holding on to the space right here. But gotta pay attention to that fatal. Oh, okay. Fatal blow was available. Didn't end up coming up.
Scarlet is a good example of how the offense works in this game. Her back two is that scythe move that's an overhead, but it does not pop you up, and it is unsafe if blocked.
Okay.
But then her back 3-4, that can pop you up in the corner. So she has a low that can pop you up, but she does not have an overhead.
So, okay, trying to balance out a little. Not everything leads to a full combo.
Oh, he's really found a good tool.
Oh, good jump.
Probably looking for command grab. Didn't come. And Scar right back to the zoning. You can see
Yeah, the animations are
but
sick.
The frustration is still here. One of the things I really love about MK11 so
There's a
far
lot
is
of
that
detail
these characters that you've
to
shown
look
on this
and
character
see.
select screen are
The
very
blood effects, the
different.
sand
So you have
effects.
The incredible zoning coming out of Scarlet. From Garrus, you have
Yeah, and even he has a little bit of zoning. He's not just
He's got
helpless.
some other funky stuff as well, like we were talking about. Really good variations. Fatal blow. It's there.
Yes, and then we'll also have characters like Sub-Zero who has great
Can she combo into it here?
offense in this version, which is unique. Sub-Zero, typically you think of him as a very slow defensive character. I really don't think he is in this one.
I had the health bars backwards. Who had
And
the
Sonya's also has really good
Fatal blow.
mix-ups.
Yeah, although it could be that they're unfinished, Grant. It could definitely be that they're unfinished. Of those animations. I know there's no
You know, Gur always had a
blue
lot
blood.
as a player.
I noticed like there's no voice work in between rounds, or either they're not piping it to us, but we can hear the game
Looking pretty
audio.
confident up there.
So
I'm
presumably
really
the
glad that Gur
voiceover
went
just
with
hasn't
the
been
big
recorded
body.
yet.
You know, he in Injustice 2.
Is this game coming out this year?
He moved away from Bane and the command grab characters he traditionally used. So I'm happy to see him back.
Yeah, I was very happy when I went back there that he immediately had picked Garrus. It really seems good for him. And I'm very hyped to see Scar play Scarlet.
I'm glad whatever you know
One of the fun things
whether he does well or
about
not. It's good to
developing
hear
this
somebody
game,
playing
since we didn't
in
reveal
one of
it,
the new characters.
You know, earlier
That's what you
was
want to
sitting
see.
there waiting
I can't wait to see
You don't have
some
everyone just
of
to play their
these,
old main in an
which
exhibition.
pro player is going to play which this character, and I knew Scar was going to lose his mind because in MK9 he came in late and he was the best Scarlet in the world at one point, but Injustice came out and he never really got the chance to like get an Evo top 8 or an MLG top 8, even though he was very talented even back then.
So at the beginning of this round, we saw that it said first hit. What does that do for you now without meter in the same way?
There is no more like first hit bonus. You do not get anything because meter recharges on its own, and you always, unlike typically, you do not. You actually start with all 4 of your bars.
Oh,
yeah, that's a little weird. You don't start with nothing.
All right.
Time stop?
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, he tried to bust out the swag.
He'll get there. He'll get
Now,
there.
Gur does have his fatal blow. We'll see though. Now at this point though, the round is going to be very hard to win, so it might be wiser to save it. Unless he
Right, since you can't, so it doesn't carry over to the next round. He won't have it at the start of the next round, but he can't use it at all in the rest of the game if he uses it. So there's a little wrinkle there that I can't think of in any other fighting game. So that adds something that's nice. I like it. Like I said with everything else, I like it just because it's different. Whether it's good long term, it is. It's just like lethal hit. Under X condition,
hits are typically used in crushing blows. Otherwise, it just lets you know
this certain moves will cause a crushing blow and get an added effect and a little X-ray effect. So it's a good combination of a visual coolness and gameplay coolness.
Like for example, that right there. If that had hit as a counter, it would have got the crushing blow.
Got it. Look how long he holds it. Look, see that?
He's holding them like they're a small child.
Yeah, they are compared to that big boy. And right back to a range.
Yeah, it's a lot of corner carry. It's unique for among grapplers to have a built-in corner carry. Wake up super. And since he didn't use it last round, he sort of felt like I have to use it here. Yeah, like lethal hit's a lot. It's a good idea. It's rare in fighting games at this point. It's rare to see any new mechanic is often just derivative of an old mechanic. Lethal hit's something new and unique. There's fatal counters in Guilty Gear and in Blaze Blue, but in the fact of it only causes X effect if it hits under Y condition. That's a new wrinkle on counter hits. So I love it. I love that mechanic in Soul Calibur 6, and I'm glad to see something similar.
Even very far, and you can see when he amplifies it is when he gets that hourglass, and it's letting you know the other one's going to come out. So you can see what Gur's kind of doing. You put it out there, and then do other moves, walk in, walk back, and then it's going to go. And Scar knows he can't get in.
Well, we were talking about whether Gur could make another comeback.
Backing off, I thought he would press his offense there.
Now Scar does
he knew to respect the fatal blow.
Now it is on a cooldown. You did not lose it since it was blocked, but it's a significant cooldown.
Still available? Whoa.
Oh, you only lose it if it's blocked.
And it just came back, unfortunately. It's
oh, if it hits, rather. Okay.
So then you do have access to it more than once.
If it's blocked or whiffed.
Okay.
Once it actually connects, it's used.
Okay.
That's interesting as well.
Wow.
I lot that they're doing right. And you know what I didn't notice yet, guys, at all?
Now, we've only seen
any kind of combo break or wager type mechanic.
Are they the same as in previous Mortal Kombat?
Throws are very reminiscent of MKX and MK9. You use the opposite button to break them. They have a forward and a back one. A lot of crushing blows are actually tied to throw, and the requirement will be if the opponent techs the wrong way, you get the crushing blow, and they do bigly damage. Like Scarlet has one, so her throw can do like 30% if you tech wrong.
Oh, sick, okay.
It's pretty awesome.
So as the defender, almost riskier to try to tech in some situations.
Well, that's exactly it. And you could actually, if you think they're going to throw, do an uppercut, because that would trigger the counter-hitting high attack for the uppercut crushing blow.
Wow, all right.
So it kind of works both ways,
the zoning.
How risky throws can be.
Interesting.
Oh, he had gone for the interactable. You can still amplify interactables to get armor.
Okay.
It's one of the few ways that has armor in the game.
Okay.
However,
and that costs probably defense meter?
It takes 50% of your defense. If you amplify it to get armor, it takes 50% of offense and defense.
Oh, interesting.
Armor across the board is
so in terms of considered defensive mechanics, but meter burning was considered maybe for applying pressure or both. It could be both, so hence it takes both meters.
Or a handful of moves.
So they're both finding pretty good strings right now and making the opponent block a lot. Is there anything that they could be doing about that?
Yes.
Normal still do chip, but by the way, it's kind of obvious, but I hadn't noticed that yet.
The last second, within just a couple of frames,
for the just defense.
Chip damage is significantly reduced, and you actually break out earlier, and it allows you to punish things.
Possibly punish things that wouldn't otherwise be punishable.
Okay. It's a very hard mechanic. It's meant to be kind of, you really have mastered the timing, and you.
The only one the string is, and there could be a built-in mix up there as well. I'm hearing a lot of good
About
stuff
the
that I
direct
like.
chip damage, it can save you. You also, if you reversal a move and flawless block, you have access to your wake-up attacks. So the up 2 or the up 3 that uses your wake-up attacks, you could do as a reversal. So I'll give you an example.
Oh, after blocking.
Right. Like if you do Sub-Zero slide and I block it, if I flawless block, I can
This
then
ball's a
reversal
different color,
up
by the
2
way.
and get the pop-up attack.
Oh,
So-
wow.
Like a great example.
So
would be
some things are
Scorpion's
only
enhanced
you get a
teleport
full
is safe
punish if
on
you just
block.
defend it.
However, if I have the timing, if I've mastered, if I have Sonic Fox-like reflexes, I can flawless block the teleport, and I can actually get a punish.
Flawless block, good name, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing even Ultra David sounds impressed. He's like, you guys who usually Meathead Mix-Up Simulator 2018. He's like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, I feel like they are.
2-2, yeah,
developing
this is a good
units.
match.
We're watching them right now. We're seeing some cooler pressure out of both.
Yeah, they're both mixing up their zoning well, and you pointed out earlier, like they understand their block strings up close.
Okay,
oh,
wake
there
up
you
attack.
go. So that was the up 3 one where she doesn't really get significant damage or a knockdown. It's just more of a get off me tool.
And is that safe?
It depends on the character.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sick.
EX scoop. Didn't do that much damage though. I thought I'd do more.
And there he went for his temporal advantage move, which is interesting because while it combos, he freezes time. He cannot 2-in-1 into it.
It also
Cancel
takes
it. 2-in-1 means
quite a bit of
cancel for
stamina
those who
bar.
playing a lot at home.
There are certain moves.
They've really always called that since the 90s and never accepted that nobody else is going to call it.
It just does that, which is that's why he can't 2-in-1.
God, that was an anti-air.
And he gets free damage there, and maybe even more if he has a swag combo.
Doesn't do a reaction. So obviously, typically an uppercut would knock you away. That won't. And they are both within fatal blow. So this is the scramble I'm so excited for in tournaments.
Now you have to think, okay, nobody spent it.
Patient right there.
And so in the position, it doesn't reset to neutral. A lot of people would have liked to see that, I think, among all these new features. It gives a certain, it may give a certain character an advantage or disadvantage if the round starts with the last round ended. It makes it unique from other games, but some people will be disappointed to see that.
Master in the scene.
Yeah, known to be one of those.
There you go.
Okay, yeah, armor. The tongue not connecting.
And that tongue is a really, really good move. It has really good recovery. That's my favorite.
That's safe on block. Surprising.
Looking good for Scar. We got fatal blow now for Gur though.
Oh.
He tried.
He tried. The armor does not activate for a few frames.
Okay.
So while
Can
it's
he run it
very
back?
good armor and it's
He's a grappler. Oh, is he dead?
foolproof.
That might be about it. Yeah.
That is it.
Scar takes it.
Very good match though.
Well, that's a really good back and forth, and I like seeing the display of footsies from both. I like seeing the different.
Yeah, I'm trying to do kind of a combination here, guys, of commentary in the match, but also reacting to new gameplay mechanics and stuff. I don't know. This is not exactly play-by-play style commentary. It's
That is
more
something,
of
along with the blocking
a mix of
option
both.
that you
I
were
barely
talking
know what's
about,
going on
that
here
really
anymore than you guys
requires
do.
knowing the game in depth.
Yes, crushing blows are definitely a lot of fun to learn the requirements, and I've now seen them probably 8 million times, and I'm still hyped, like every time.
So, some of them are pretty sick. I saw some back there, yeah.
Like that Baraka arm one where you just bite your arm and a chunk of flesh comes out.
Man,
I
was
was
tough.
getting hype watching the reveal trailer, and it's like I've seen it.
Yeah,
that
that was
times this
gross
week,
out
and
shit
I
even for
kind
me.
of got chills watching it in front of the crowd, and it's like I knew it was about to happen.
All right, well, something else you mentioned you'd really like to see is about to come up. It'll be Tweety versus Dragon. Let's go to the stage.
This one I can't be more excited for because you know the loser is going to their hotel room, turning out the lights, and staring at the ceiling. Like these are too emotional, and they're gonna deny it. They're gonna deny it. They're gonna, oh, this is an exhibition. I don't really care. I'm just here to learn the game. I'm just preparing for tournaments. Nonsense.
This is a
These
big
guys get
headline
emo
match.
when they
In modern
leave. It's gonna
Injustice,
be
this would be
emo
considered
city in here.
I like how Dragon
Pretty
said
big
that his
matchup.
MK11 main is unknown because, obviously, but Tweety went all in, claiming it was Jade.
Although Jay's not announced yet. Oh, so Song Fox did the same thing.
That was his claim. Yeah.
So we don't know if the staffers told him this character's in.
Of course.
Like, no doubt they wouldn't let them intentionally reveal characters that aren't announced yet. But they're trying to obfuscate a little bit. Like, you don't know if we told them this character's in the game or if they're just guessing. And we're not going to tell you.
So that doesn't surprise me at all.
Well, I think it makes sense play style wise. I think for both of these players,
it's a great fit.
They both are so strong when it comes to patient play. They can really out patient opponents. It's part of why I want to watch how this matchup goes, because they both have that ability. And they're doing it with characters that they don't have very much time with.
Right.
You're right that their playstyles are extremely similar. It's why I think they're so.
Could take Higgins. It's been a pretty long stream. This is taking longer than I thought. I'm gonna do the rest of these matches just because I might as well. There's no reason to do half of them. But I'm actually heading out shortly as well. Thanks for hanging out, buddy. I'll see you around.
Thank you, gentlemen. Before we introduce our next matchup, I have an A10 headphone to give away from our friends at Astro.
Oh,
but
boy,
I
maybe
need
I'll
the
win.
help of my mustache brother, Mr. Aquaman. If you could hand this out to one of the hypest crowd members out there. Thank you very much, sir. One of the pillars of the Mortal Kombat community. On that side, who will it be? On that side, who will it be? Three, two, one, go! All right, folks. We still got two.
What up, Pixelize? How's it going? You missed the. They revealed all the new gameplay mechanics, all the characters, show the birthday characters. You can go back and watch the archives. But they're doing a pro player exhibition now.
We love your gameplay. We love your personality outside of the game. How
Tweety's a
hyped are you
big
for
boy.
Mortal Kombat 11?
I'm about to mob. What's up?
You also got your lucky controller. Go ahead and take a seat. We'll get ready for your opponent to come on out. Ladies and gentlemen,
This kind of adapter.
from Delaware, currently a free agent, please welcome Dragon.
Because you're right, he's quite young as well. I don't know if he's.
He's already going to take a seat. He wants me to come to him for the interview. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I need you. Hey, so it's been a little while since we've seen you at
Look how
tournaments.
tiny he is. I feel like an old man watching these young kids.
Are you prepared to be a champion in Mortal Kombat 11?
Yeah. I mean, as you saw, I was ready to sit down. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to win. I'm just ready.
All right, let's get to it. We'll give you guys a couple seconds to get that button check prepared, and let's see which type of characters are going to be bringing to the game today. A huge thank you.
I think they said he was 17 when the year he won Evo.
Fantastic commentary as these players.
So I don't know. I'm trying to do Xerox math.
First time today, they've only had a couple
Right now, that was
hours
the last year, the year
with
before.
Mortal Kombat 11. We're going to give them a little bit of time to get set up here.
They showed a lot of new gameplay mechanics. I know you're not into fighting games on the level where you would think too much about that.
So,
But
I'm ask you all the questions that I
the
can think of.
defense and
Try to
offense are in
get
two
as much
different
info out there as possible. But if anybody would like to know anything in particular, send it
meters.
to either of us, and we're happy
There's
to address
your
as much
super
as we
move
can.
is now based on when you run out of health.
I'm super
You have low
excited
health
for
and
that.
use your super. It's not based on your
So,
meter.
Tweety is gotta be
There's
like
some new
everyone's
mechanics.
favorite player in terms of hype, right?
In terms of personality hype.
Personality hype.
Okay,
yeah, because
maybe, yeah.
Here's what I like about Tweety. This guy complains.
So it's
nonstop
gameplay-wise,
about getting
it's
Injustice
substantially changed from
And he told us that was
MK10 and
the
Injustice.
only
No one can
reason
say
he wasn't top
they
the
just
first
copy
year.
pasted the
Okay.
gameplay mechanics. It's
And
much more
now,
different.
it
Visually,
doesn't
it's
get any
sick. That
uglier.
goes without saying.
He's literally on
But that's
stage.
not
It's the third set of competitive
top of the list.
MK11.
In my thoughts.
So
You know
my
what I mean?
point here is he's up against an Evolution champion and an MKX top 8 finalist.
Yeah.
Tweety, I don't know if he can hear. He has headphones on. You have to win this. You
Wow.
told us. You told us you would be top if you could play early. This is it.
You are not giving him an out, huh?
No, there is no out. He has to win this. But you know what I love about Tweety? He's thinking, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can't blow up Tweety for his confidence because he just owns it.
He looks like
For
he hasn't
sure,
slept.
Yeah, and he's made it clear that he can back that up.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, there's no, in MKX and Injustice 2, the end of those games,
The top
there's
8
no
Evo
question he was one of the
Justice
best in
2
the world.
player.
And this is
In
his
the later
first
years,
opportunity to
I don't remember hearing his name
be
before this
top
year.
early in a game's life, which
Before
is
2018.
so important. There's, you know, you always.
So,
want to be
and our skins
getting
are old enough
on
now where
that,
you could say we have an
I
old
came
school,
in
new
late on
school
a, as he would say, necro.
situation.
So he is hungry.
Okay.
Now on the other hand, you have Dragon. Unquestionably one of the best Injustice 2 players. The dude won Evo. For
Evo
sure.
champion, yeah.
But he took a break, and like it or not,
Baraka. I also like Baraka is a very boring
great
character.
guy and immensely talented
But I will
player.
see.
If you step away, you step away. You have to hold that, and
That's
now
true.
he's back. So this is a high-pressure situation for both these guys. They have a lot to prove right now.
Now, both of these players have liked to zone
Just
in the past.
chocolate
I
plasma,
think it's rare to
Hadouken?
see Baraka for somebody like Tweety. But actually, that fireball is legit.
That's pretty quick.
And it recovers very fast. Baraka, you know, a lot of people.
He's not thought of as his own
he's
character.
just savage. That he doesn't know what's. Like he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
No, he
Character-wise.
understands zoning. He's been in 2D fighting games for 25 years now,
That's
and he
true.
has come prepared.
That's true. He dead?
Oh.
Wow.
So that's called, that's the,
Really
not
did.
fatal blow, it's called something else.
Yeah, and because that enhanced move is just tied to the stamina bar, you can use that pretty regularly. You don't need meter in a traditional sense for that.
Right, and you can just see there, he does 2 of them, and he's already built half a bar for another one. It's very, very strong.
Yeah.
Now, the nice thing about Scarlet's tongue, though, is she actually gets the knockdown. So if she can get the life lead, she definitely has the
So
zone.
it does benefit zoning characters, right? They can use the EX projectiles every so often.
Oh, good
There's a fatal blow is the super move. It's
Now they're finally up close.
crushing blow. It's
Oh,
called. It's like
excellent
lethal
throw
hit in
tech.
Soul Calibur.
You can see Baraka's
That moves will do extra damage and have the extra effect in certain conditions.
Chop Chop has never been punished ever in 30 years. Everyone just talks about how they punish it, then they don't actually punish it.
Holy shit!
He enhanced it twice.
Oh, big damage. So it's a pretty simple day 1 game plan for Baraka. Chuck Plasma, if you hit, burn all the meter for free
Now,
damage.
Dragon just used his fatal blow, even though he might.
But that may be
use his
exactly
sound,
what's
so
needed
that
in
could be
an
just
exhibition
a
like
gamble.
this.
Now, is Tweety going to want to use his to close this out, or just try to beat Dragon?
But he could probably win on chip here.
Well, doesn't even...
And he might take the hit because he was afraid of dying on chip if he did the EX Chop Chop. I would have killed on block.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's they showed this
That is the
before
grossest
in the
thing.
trailer.
If you look
I mean,
closely,
that's
the
gross.
skin is wiggling.
Oh, all right.
I like how
You gotta
they're
wonder if they'll show
pulsing.
some of these at Evo.
Yeah, it's still there. It's definitely still moving.
It's alright, Dragon doesn't think when he plays. I think he heard me and just kind of front like,
Yeah, he doesn't need that
It's alright,
brain.
yeah, I didn't either. It's fine. I just jumped.
Talking shit about kids playing video games. We're a very rude commentator.
So yeah, those
Yeah,
fireballs.
see, no
on Tweety,
voice.
That really
And
made
the
a
voice
huge
is just
difference
not
in the way
recorded
that
yet.
first game went.
Yeah, I mean, Tweety had the life lead pretty much the whole time, and Dragon. Oh, and that's speaking of life lead.
Early, look at that damage.
I wonder what determines.
I really like
It's
how
weird.
much
I've seen it in
Tweety's
all
using
kinds of
throws.
situations.
Throws are always great.
It doesn't seem to be only when you get counter hits. It's all different
Now,
stuff.
smart. Tweety immediately just goes for the zoning, and
Shock him
Dragon
the plasma.
have a hard time because the life lead.
You wouldn't think, like you said, you would think of Brock as a zoning
Dragon's
character.
smartly just going
but
in now.
Day 1 strats.
Overhead on the end of that.
Yep.
Knocks him away.
Fatal blow's already ready, and Tweety.
And then
yeah,
they can chalk that
spamming
plasma.
twice.
And knowing it is different, it's a totally different mix-up. Knowing that meter's coming back one way or the other, you're less hesitant
I
to
think
use it.
this is Tweety basically saying you need to go back on your break, man. You need to get out of here.
Yeah.
It's really those zoning moves still use offensive meter. It's not right. Not that you would think they wouldn't, but that's not how defensive.
It never ended.
Burning it all, free chip. See, that probably is punishable, but he doesn't know how to punish it. So it makes it a good day 1 game plan.
Oh, no.
You're scared to press the button. You don't want to walk into it.
Yeah, expected to jump perfectly. This is somebody who's been playing the fireball and anti-air game for a while.
I mean, and with his Starfire was just amazing.
Yeah.
That was her wheelhouse.
Locking him down.
A little bit of harassment.
And now what are you gonna do? If you block, you lose. If you get hit, you lose. If you let him back off, you
Dragon's
lose.
in big trouble.
Yeah, you can see Dragon's having a really hard time dealing with that.
Seems solid. I like it.
Being a mid.
Yeah.
Tweety living up to his claims.
Cheap, real fast.
I'd love
Now,
to see
Dragon's
day
gonna
1
have to adjust
zoning
to that if it's just one more
in a
game.
new fighting
Look, that's
game.
how it
Warms
is
my
when
heart.
You have been playing the game for 2 hours.
Get
and you
good
decide who's the best.
strokes.
It's not long-term strats. It's what did I find that's wild today?
Today, and Dragon is very good at adapting. Very good at. Dragon's not nervous right now. He's thinking, no, what the hell am I gonna do?
Yeah,
about
looking
this
for
fireball?
solutions on it.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
The only problem for Dragon is time. Now he's gonna have the life lead.
That's what they showed Scarlet as a zoning character as well. But Baraka, at least the way that the game plan that Tweety's constructed, seems to be able to outdo her.
Hard time zoning now because he's so low on life. Well, maybe
Once he
not
knocks you down, you have to deal with that
Good
fireball.
jumping.
Nice jumper.
Almost got the combo.
Fatal blow's ready though. You see Dragon instantly just blocking a lot.
Oh, the chainsaw
Doesn't wanna take a risk
interactable
on that.
factor there.
Very, very smart.
They probably don't know exactly the timing on it, so they're more nervous to use it.
Now chainsaw's in play.
Man, I was one step ahead of the real commentator.
You can use it from full screen. And
You guys
got
gotta
to
give it up for that. You guys gotta give it up for that one.
Yeah, I really like this change from Dragon. There's a lot
Yeah,
more
and see,
on him.
much like most NRS games, when you're that low on life and you're in the corner,
The tongue is not.
you got tough decisions to make because no one will do chip damage. And considering meter is free, they have no fear of wasting their meter chipping you out. But you do have the decision: are you going to use your fatal blow or not? Since it doesn't come back. Fatal blow is your super move. When your health bar is low and it says fatal blow, you have access to your super. That's it. It's not tied to your meter. It's tied only to when you're low on health. It's like the Rage Art in Tekken. But you can only use it once per game. Not once per round, once per game. So if you use it to try and make a comeback, you're giving it up for the rest of the game. If it hits, not if it's on to win.
It's been a blow up.
So it adds it. That's unique to most fighting. I can't think of a mechanic like that off the top of my head.
Fight Club here.
They're getting some space, but you know, I often think the Dragon wants that space. It's just that in this matchup, it hasn't been working out.
Right now, so it's gonna be a matchup. Obviously, it's only day one, but it's gonna be a matchup where whoever has the first knockdown is in quite good shape because the other has to come in and deal all his own and come in. Not this again. This garbage is on their end. I don't know what's causing it. Don't we have live stream figured out in 2019? They should have got spooky on the case. So you're refreshing one health. This guy's not gonna do. You gotta hold that. Okay.
Man. Something about the hand.
So Tweety is on match points.
Oh my god, the hand part.
But it's gonna be tough.
It's absolutely gruesome. It just makes it so real.
One good guess. Yeah. It's gonna take 2 or 3 more. Is he gonna zone him or is he gonna come in? That's the question. Who goes to zoning first here? Seems like Baraka can do both.
We'll see if he wants to go for it.
That back 3, back 4. Pretty good for getting in. That's a lot. That's a lot though.
He waited.
Oh, he had it. He had it. Oh,
Guess super. Nice jump.
Dragon is still alive.
Oh, let him see it. Yeah, let him see it. There it is.
In their tradition, they always pause the game and go to rematch instead of watching the cinematics because they get old after a while. But they're not old yet.
It was definitely more offense. So, like we said, these are 2 of the best in the world, and they're gonna adapt on the fly.
Right.
They're gonna change.
Now we'll have to see. Does Tweety have anything beyond that mid-range and throws?
They got the score. I believe they got the score wrong.
This will be our first competitive getting to meta 2, maybe. And they're both just going in.
Is that a crushing blow, or is it just animated to zoom in?
That is a crushing blow.
Okay.
That is if she does the move as a
Yeah, she's just
punish,
chucking the plasma.
she'll get it.
Okay.
I mean, I like to do a more basic character. I don't know if that's how he's intended to be played at quote-unquote high level, but I like to do a basic character in NRS team. Just chuck fireballs.
Close, medium, and far, so it's great.
Okay.
Get that damage in with the stabs.
It's also great to end block screens. She's pushed back so far. Oh,
it hits?
That is actually an overhead.
Oh, it is? Wow.
Wow.
Ah, it's still in there. Oh my god. Her hand is still attached.
I absolutely love the flag part.
It's a little weird. I liked only 1 super per game because we don't stop the clock as often. We're just, the match just runs. You don't gotta watch long cinematics. You guys might say the game's not even out yet. I shouldn't be complaining about that. But after a while, they get old. So I was happy to hear there might be less of them. But then the crushing blows, there might be more of them. So, decision. Here, tell me that guy. We missed the reveal. They showed a new character. These characters, Sub-Zero and Scorpion, and Sonya.
Yeah, I was trying that out. That gives.
And they have this is a pro player exhibition right now. We're doing some commentary.
You can really radically change your character with the variation system. There are all kind of wacky moves, like.
Oh, you mentioned it earlier, but Baraka also has a command grab variation.
Yes, Baraka has a mid-screen command grab where he actually jumps and leaps at you. If you can choose
Match
to
point.
That if you want. Scarlet has several different debuff and buff moves. She has.
Now once he gets meter, it's lights out because he can just chip him out. Yes.
She gets a damage boost. There's all
So now we're getting the feel for it. So the meter is on a timer. Your meter, your defense, offense are separate, 2 separate meters, and they both come back over time.
It was, and like we were talking about, we did start to see some adaptation, but it just wasn't enough.
So that creates some interesting situations where you know this person has lethal to borrow a Hearthstone turn once they build meter. Right? There's no way you can escape the chip mode. So the question is, when did they build it? Or other situations. They can escape in a few seconds, not when they build this meter. They don't have to get hit. They don't have to land a hit. They just have to wait. So, although fighting game players may not like to see cooldowns in a fighting game, it does at least make the decision making something new and different.
But the wonderful thing about the tournament scene
I'm very excited everything I've seen today. Without giving too much thought to how
and
each new
I
mechanic will
expect them to
play
do
out
really well this
1,
year.
2, 3 years
No
into the
doubt.
game's
I
life
think for both
cycle.
of them, yeah.
Just the fact that
We
there
have a
is
replay.
so
Let's go
much
back
to
and
do
check it out.
different makes me happy and look forward to playing.